Good afternoon, Western New York High School sports fans, and welcome to the WNY Athletics Facebook page and WNYathletics.com for today's high school football matchup. It's an A2 clash between the Williamsville East Flames and the Sweet Home Panthers. John Simon here alongside Jacob Fyack. We are here live at Williamsville East High School, and despite the little bit of wind that you're hearing in my microphone, it is a beautiful, beautiful day for some high school football. It's week 2, fall 2 season, I guess is what we're technically calling it, is in full swing now. And Jake, we got ourselves a nice matchup today between some division rivals.
Absolutely. You got Williamsville East on their home turf as they have the visited Sweet Home Panthers that come into this ball game 1-0 overall. Sweet Home defeated Amherst on Thursday, April 1st, 21-7, whereas Will East comes in 0-1. They fell to West Seneca East 28-15 on Saturday, April 3rd.
And you see one player from each side out there for the opening coin toss right now. And Williamsville East going to be a little bit short-handed today, Jake. They're missing a couple of their senior players. Guys are just kind of, out today. They missed last week's game as well, but Ethan Dalton, Gavin Hamilton, and Gavin Adams all out this week for the Flames. They missed week 1 as well, as I mentioned, but that's a tough blow for Will East. 3 starters, 2-way starters. And, they're going to have a tough time against this talented Sweet Home team that, as you said, got a victory week 1 against Amherst.
Yeah, and their biggest, a main factor they're going to be going up against is Tyrell Laws. He was the Conley Cup / Ad Pro Sports Week 1 top performer, along with a couple other big-name players around Section 6 for high school football. 16 carries, 173 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, along with his teammate Jalen Gaines, 10 carries, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. So obviously this is going to be a team that's going to rely on running the ball a lot. And with Tyrell Laws, you don't know how much he is going to be in the passing game, but I have told, he can be pretty accurate. He's really good on the run. He's got a nice strength, with a good flicker wrist of the ball. So got a nice dual threat guy here for Sweet Home High School. That's going to be a big threat here against Will East's defense.
And Will East is now set to receive the opening kickoff here. The Flames in their all-red uniforms, Sweet Home in the all-white with gold helmets. And the Panthers ready to kick off here. Zach Collins, the junior kicker, number 24 in white, ready to boot this one away and get this thing started. And Collins kicks away from the 40, gets a nice ball, putting that deep inside Willie's territory, but it bounces in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Jake, that's pretty solid kicking for a high school place kicker.
Yeah, that was a really good one. With the velocity of that ball trickling out of bounds, there's nothing the returner could have done. You have to just let that sail over out of bounds, and you have to start off deep in your own territory.
And today at quarterback for Williamsville East is going to be Austin D'Amico. Also plays wide receiver, usually plays wide receiver for the Flames, but he is in at quarterback today because last week their usual starter, it's Alex Cook. He was banged up a little bit against West Seneca East, left that game in the 3rd quarter, and he did practice this week, but just not able to go today. So D'Amico going to be in the first play is a run, but it's quickly snuffed out by the Sweet Home defensive line. And in there to make that big tackle is Otis Taylor, the 6'3", 315-pound defensive end.
Yeah, he saw that right away, able to break through the offensive line, bringing him down for a loss.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 here for Williamsville East. Put up a couple points, or a couple touchdowns, I should say, last week against West Seneca East, but fell 28-15. And with a couple missing pieces, going to look to get some different guys to step up this week for the Flames. D'Amico in the shotgun takes the snap, looks to pass, but he sees some pressure, and he's brought down. Jalen Gaines, the senior defensive end, getting in there for a tackle. That's another loss, Jake, and it's going to be 3rd and long coming up here for Will East.
I forgot to mention a short preview. Not only did he run for 100 yards, he also had 2 sacks in their Week 1 victory, and you see him right off the edge, went right by the offensive line, bringing down D'Amico. Very big play there for Sweet Home.
So it's going to be about 3rd and, looks like 19 for Will East here. They don't have the down and distance up on the scoreboard today, so just doing it, with the naked eye test. But 5 wide here for D'Amico. He takes the shotgun snap, and it's more quick pressure from the Panthers. The ball's loose in the end zone, and Will East is going to have to recover, and they're going to rule that a safety. So a nice job by the Panthers defense there to bring the pressure fast in the backfield. And they're going to get points on the board, Jake, before their offense even comes out.
Couldn't ask for a better start for Sweet Home. 3 big plays, loss of yards for Will East, sack for Sweet Home, fumble on the play, and that ends up going in the end zone for a safety. Great start for the Panthers.
Yeah, so Sweet Home, their defensive front doing a nice job there. And, their head coach, Jeremy Zimmer, Jake, said that that's one of their biggest strengths. He said that he really likes the athleticism and the strength that his defense has, but they're really the best group on that whole side of the ball is his defensive line. He really likes, the size that they have up front, the strength that those guys bring, and they're athletes too. We saw on all 3 plays there, they get off the line quick and they bring pressure to the opposing quarterback very, very fast.
Yeah, they haven't played in 9 days, so they're hungry for this one. On the road, they're trying to prove, with not a lot of fans, in their favor. They had a couple Sweet Home fans. Usually during this COVID pandemic, you've seen that, if it's your home game, you got a home court advantage. It brings a lot of pressure for away teams to come in here, and they're just proving right now that, it doesn't matter how roaring they are if they don't have that many fans. They're going to prove that they're going to be one of the best teams.
And the pressure now is definitely on Williamsville East. They give up points despite getting the ball first in this game. Now they're going to give the ball to a Sweet Home offense that boasts a lot of talent, a lot of guys that are capable of making home run plays happen, and we're going to see that offense take the field in just a moment here as the Flames are set to kick off. Lucas Miranda, senior kicker for Will East, about to boot this one away. And we still got some fans funneling in here as the game just started. Sweet Home got 2 players back to return, Tyrell Laws and Tazir Redden. And Miranda keeps his kick on the ground. It's a squibber. It's fielded by Redden at about the 40. He takes it over midfield, gets past the 45 and the 40. He's got more space and he's got open field. Redden's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. That's more points on the board for the Panthers. It's now 8-0 Sweet Home early going here.
Don't know what to say there. Redden just had tremendous blocking. He was behind one blocker around that midfield 40-yard marker in Willie's territory, and after that just used his burst of speed to blow right by that whole return team for Will East and just coast in the end zone. I'm just curious when Sweet Home's offense is going to come out on here. They might come out here with 8 minutes or 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter because it's all been their defense and special teams so far.
Yeah.
In 2 consecutive plays, we've had a safety and a return for a touchdown.
Yeah, no, it's definitely only good things can happen from getting points on the board without having your offense even get onto the field. I told you, Jake, Will East was in danger giving Sweet Home's offense the ball that quickly, with the players that they have to hit that home run play, but it wasn't the offense that hit the home run play, it was the special teams, and I guess I kind of overlooked that, and so did Will East. But the extra point attempt now up, and it's good. So the lead is now 9-0 for the Panthers as Jacob Cordy was knocking that one through. So Will East going to get the ball back here, but they're in an early 9-0 hole with less than 2 minutes gone by in this ball game.
And if you're Will East, the main goal here is, okay, it's only 2 minutes into this game. You had a couple of flubs, but now this is where you have to pretend it's a clean slate, it's tied 0-0, and just do the game plan that your coach set up for your team.
Right. And for Sweet Home, this is exactly what Jeremy Zimmer said that he wanted to see from his team was a fast start. They had a really slow first half against Amherst. Tyrell Laws turned the ball over 3 times, fumbled it 3 times in that first half. So they could have beaten Amherst by an even wider margin than the 21-7 score that they won by. So he wanted to see a fast start from his team. And while he wants to see it from the offense, I'm sure he's pretty happy to get points from defense and special teams as well.
And like you just mentioned with Zimmer saying he wants to get this team out and going right away. For him to do it right here, up 9-0 with 10:20, remaining in the first quarter, not even 2 minutes into this game, he's got to be elated right now.
And the Sweet Home defense certainly got a lot of momentum on their first series as they were able to draw a safety. Just never really, they didn't give up any positive yards to at least. All 3 plays, they pushed them back. So I'm sure that the Panther defense is very excited to get back on the field. I think they want to make more big plays. But now the kickoff is away from Collins. It's another good one. It's going to land around the Will East 10, and it's fielded by Dorian Facken. And he gets out to around the 28 of Willie's. So Faison with the nice 25-yard return there. And the Flames will get a little bit better starting position with this second drive, Jake.
Now, like I mentioned, Willie's just go with the game plan you've had. And if I'm the offensive line, there's got to be a little bit more of a better chemistry on that first drive, making sure that you block those four, that 3 or 4 man front on Sweet Home, because they've shown that, within 2 minutes of this game, they can be very aggressive and find holes to get through.
Austin D'Amico, the senior quarterback, in the shotgun again. He's got 4 out wide. Gets rid of the throw quick, but it's just a little high. He was looking for Cal Honan there, but the pass just out of the reach of his outstretched hands, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And that was it right there. The offensive line did a really good job. You had, I believe, it was Gaines coming off that right side of the offensive line. They double teamed him. They gave D'Amico time, just threw it a little bit high over Honan's head. Yeah,
he had the open receiver, and I think as the game goes on and as he settles in, remember I said D'Amico didn't start last week at quarterback. He was a wide receiver, so he may still be settling in playing quarterback at game speed per se. But 2nd and 10 here. He's in the shotgun again. This time he's going to hand it off. It's a run play, and the helmet comes off. That was Peter Piccolo on the carry. And he picked up a couple yards, but lost his helmet in the process, so he'll have to come off. I guess he'll stay on. I guess in high school football, you don't have to take a play off if your helmet comes off during play.
Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Oh, yeah, no, now they're going to make him go. I've seen some officiating so far this season. The officials kind of just making rules up as they go along, so you never know what can really happen. But he ended up not gaining any yards there, just made it back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Will East. This will be their 6th offensive play, and they have not picked up positive yardage yet.
6 plays. Unofficially for me, 6 plays, -2 yards so far.
Shotgun snap again. D'Amico gets a throw off. It was almost caught, but it just went in and out of the hands of Alabakish. And that'll bring up 4th and 10 for Will East. Not exactly in 4-down territory. So we'll see if the Flames punt here. Sweet Home is going to send a couple guys back to retrieve the kick.
For Sweet Home, number 50, Xavier LeBoy, and number 9, Nate Moody, were both in on the receiver there. He had a hard time trying to corral it in, and he immediately ran into Moody and ended up jogging that ball right out of his hands and making it incomplete.
So it looks like Will East will punt this one away. Christian Early back there to kick it for the Flames. Tyrell Laws, as well as Dyer Fleming, back to return the punt for Sweet Home. And the punt's away. Might have gotten a piece of it, Sweet Home did, and it rolls back to the Panther 35, and they're just going to let it get downed. Nice job by Phoenix Krawcheck to track that ball, and Sweet Home's offense will come out for the first time today, and they'll start at their own 31.
So, I predicted them being out at 8 or 7. They get out here at 9-10 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, pretty impressive. I mean, Sweet Home's defense, 2 3-and-outs. They get a safety on the first series against Will East's offense. And as we said, Sweet Home's offense coming out with a 9-0 lead on their first series. And you will get to see Tyrell Laws, one of the best all-around athletes in Western New York, according to head coach Jeremy Zimmer, is a natural wide receiver, but is playing quarterback this season for the Panthers because he said he wants the ball in his best athlete's hands every play. And you see Law fake the pitch there, break a few tackles, and get outside to the right, gets a few more yards before he's pushed out of bounds. And that'll be a gain of about 7 or 8 yards for Laws. And like we said, Jake, dual threat quarterback, but every play is going to be dangerous for Will East because he's always going to have the ball in his hands.
Flag on the play, illegal motion on the offense.
Oh, and that one's actually going to come back on Sweet Home, illegal motion on the offense. So that run by Laws will be negated, and it'll be 1st and 15.
I will say, though, for that being, a 5 or 6 yard run originally, that was very tremendous job by Laws for getting those 6 yards. He faked the pitch, which fooled the defensive end on the left side for Will East, and he was able to break a couple tackles. But like you mentioned, legal formation moves Sweet Home's offense back.
Along with Laws, you'll have to watch out for Jalen Gaines, number 3 in the backfield. As Jake said, he had a big week last week against Amherst. Laws and Gaines combined for about 280 rushing yards against the Tigers, so expect them to do a lot of damage on the ground again today. But 1st and 15, Laws in the shotgun. Gaines to his right, 4 receivers out wide. And Laws will keep it himself again. Tried to get to the outside, but doesn't get much there. It'll be a gain of about maybe 2-3 yards. So nice job by Will East there to slow him down.
Yeah, and him and Gaines are going to be the main factors. Actually,
brings up 2nd and 12.
They say lost at 2?
No, gain at 3.
Oh,
it was 1st and 15.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Panthers. Laws has carried the ball in their first 2 plays, although the first one scratched away by a penalty. You know, Zimmer said that while they are primarily going to be a run offense, they do have some talented receivers, but due to the weather during the Week 1 game against Amherst, they just didn't really get a chance to throw the ball a lot. Laws handing this one off to Redden. He gets some space and moves up a few more yards, and this will give the Panthers a pretty favorable spot on 3rd down. But that's a nice run there by Tazir Redden, the 5'8" senior back.
Flag on the play.
But we got another flag. And it's another one against Sweet Home, so this is going to bring them back. And as I said, turnovers were a big issue for the Panthers Week 1, Jake. So were penalties. Head coach Jeremy Zimmer said that taking dumb penalties or bad penalties, they'll negate positive plays, is something he wanted his team to avoid in this week's matchup.
Yeah, and you're seeing it right there. It's fortunate that their defense and special teams got on points to start off, because if that wasn't the case with this offense so far, we'd still be scoreless.
Yeah, Willie's defense definitely gaining some momentum due to Sweet Home's mistakes. 2nd and 17 now, 7:40 and running here in the first quarter. Sweet Home, the road team, on top of Willie's, 9-0. Tyrell Laws remains in the shotgun here, still has 2 receivers to each side. And he's going to run it right off the snap, goes right through the line of scrimmage and picks up about 6-7 yards. But this will still be 3rd and long for the Panthers.
And we know Tyrell Laws, like you mentioned, he's normally a wide receiver playing QB this year, has tremendous hands and great burst of speed. Now in a 3rd and long, you might see a most likely a passing player, so it'll be interesting to see what Law's arm strength and arm talent is.
Yeah, Zimmer did say he likes a lot of the receivers that he has with this group. Just said he didn't really get to utilize them against Amherst. The run game was working. The weather was kind of going against the passing game, so he just stuck with keeping the ball on the ground last week. But he did say he wanted to get the passing game in a little bit more this week, so we'll see if they air it out on 3rd and long here. It's 3rd and 9. Laws takes the snap, looks, he will go downfield, and he completes the pass. Cyrus Jones was wide open down the middle of the field, just got a stride or 2 ahead of his defenders, and that's a big gain for the Panthers. They move into Willie's territory, down to the Flames 32.
I'll tell you what, he has great legs, he's fast. I hope they throw more, because that was a bullet.
Yeah, that was a real nice look. And just having a couple of receivers that can just take the top off of the D there. We saw Cyrus Jones. He's listed at 5'11", so he's got some pretty good size. And, Laws was just able to float the ball over the secondary there and find his receiver.
Looks like we got our flag.
And we'll see if this one goes against the Panthers. And it's going to be. It's a false start. So a big positive play for Sweet Home. Not exactly negated, but they're pushed back a little bit with the penalty. They're 3rd already on this series. Thankfully, they've gotten that big play. Otherwise, this series has been, full of negatives for Sweet Home.
Yeah, 3 penalties, legal formation, false start, and I believe a legal block as well. So,
Laws handing this one off to Gaines. Gaines makes a nice pivot and hits a hole, but doesn't gain too much. Looks like it'll be a gain of about 6-7 yards. But Gaines, returning first-team all-league selection from last season. As we said, he plays on both sides of the ball. He's a stellar defensive end for the Panthers as well. And he was their leading rusher last week. Although, as I said, Jake Zimmer likes his stable of receivers. He's got a number of running backs that he expects to give carries to as well. But Gaines shouldered the load last week as he was, really keeping the wheels turning for the Panthers offense. 2nd and 6 here. Laws drops back. He's going to throw again, and he's wide open in the end zone, but overshoots Redden there.
Pass incomplete.
And I don't know if Redden would have been able to catch that one if he was, closer to the pass. That one might have been going out of bounds either way.
It did, but I honestly like that play. You had number 16 on Sweet Home, and you also had Tazir Redden, both wide open. They beat their they both beat their corner and safety, and if Law just put a little more touch on it, less strength, that's a touchdown.
So it'll be 3rd and about 6 here. Sweet Home sticking with that 4 wide receiver set, 1 running back to the right of Laws. And he's going to hand it to Gaines. Avoided the first tackler, but met by a gain of Flames. And they're going to bring him down a couple yards short of the first down. But Jake, from where they're at right now, I would assume Sweet Home is going to go for it here on 4th and manageable.
Was the first hit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they should obviously go for it. Even with these penalties of setting them back, their Laws, Gaines, Redden have shown that they can get big yardage if the blocking's there, and the blocking has been there so far.
So it looks like it'll be about 4th and 3 for Sweet Home here. They're right at the Willys 25, 4:30 to go in this first quarter. Panthers already on top 9-0 thanks to a safety and a punt return touchdown from Tazir Redden. Laws remains in the shotgun. Gaines moves up to his left. Shotgun snap. Laws is going to run it, and he's got some space. First down and then some, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Tyrell Laws on 4th and short. Just needed 3 yards to get the first, but he goes all the way to the end zone. And that's the offense's first touchdown of the day. Make it 15-0 Panthers here in the first.
Just incredible athleticism and good balance by Laws. He cuts to the left side, gets the first down, and he sees plenty of space. He's like, no, I'm going to take this to the house. In that process from the 10-5-yard line, he tiptoes his way in, and Sweet Home, with 4:06 remaining in the first quarter, has opened this game up.
And like we said, you know, this offensive line for Sweet Home really need to get things going after a slow week 1. And, you know, you saw the push that they just had on that play as the Panthers now kicking the extra point. Cordy's kick is up and good, so that makes it 16-0 Panthers, and a nice hold there by Jake Dunston, the backup quarterback. That snap was low and bounced off the turf, but Dunston made a nice adjustment to hold it and get the kick up. But as I was saying, Jake, Sweet Home's offensive line on that 4th and 3 play, the amount of push that they got on Willie's front 4 off that snap, I mean, Laws had so much room to run. It looked like Willie's was pushed back behind the first down marker. I mean, he had nothing but green grass in front of him on that run.
Yeah, they knew in that 4th down spot, you know, this is your last play of the drive. You got to make this blocking great. If not, Willis is going to come up on Laws, whether they cut through or once he cuts outside, he could have had a defender there that could have tackled him down for a loss of downs. And I know Willis has struggled a little bit to get the ball down the field, but if you're Sweet Home, you're not lifting off the gas. You keep that throttle down, and they've shown that so far.
And this Sweet Home offensive line definitely has some experience. Jimmy Griffo, a 4-year varsity starter. Pretty unusual for an offensive lineman, but they've got him. They've got Kevin Murphy, who started for 3 years, but they've added some new guys as well. Herman Wooten was a Sweet Home guy that transferred back from Canisius. They also had Matt Toro, who also came back to Sweet Home from Canisius. So they've added some new pieces to this offensive line, and while they've got talent, they've got size, they've got strength, it's just kind of building up that chemistry that the Panthers are still working on. But they are off to a great start today. 16-0 lead with still 4 minutes to play in the first. And Will East returning the kick here. On the return here is Piccolo. He gets some space out to the left, and he takes this one out to the Will East 35. So a nice return there for Piccolo, but he's a little shaken up after getting tackled there. But he pops up pretty quick and goes to the sideline, but he's definitely in a little bit of pain. Piccolo, not the biggest guy, listed at just 5'3", 115. So taking a big shot out there might have just knocked the wind out of him. Hopefully he's okay. But with just under 4 to play in the first, Willie's offense is back on the field. Haven't really gotten anything going in here in the early going. Lots of negative plays against this Sweet Home defense. Obviously, the Panthers got a safety on the opening series, gave them the early 2-0 lead, and since then it has just been all Panthers. Austin D'Amico, number 12 in red in the shotgun again. Takes the snap, looks deep, gets a good pass off, but that's knocked away, but it's going to be a flag. Nate Moody, number 9 for Sweet Home, just ran into Christian Early to knock them, or drew some contact on Christian Early just before the ball came in there. And that's going to be pass interference, Jake. A big break for this Flames offense that's, needed something to go their way here in this first quarter.
Pass interference on Sweet Home.
So that's going to move them up.
First down, Flames.
I believe, into Sweet Home territory or just short of it. Oh no, they're going to be in Panther territory. They're going to be at the Sweet Home 49-yard line. So pick up a 15 for Will East there on the penalty. And they're going to get their first play in Panther territory this afternoon here. D'Amico in the shotgun again, early to his right. 3 receivers out to his right as well. D'Amico takes the snap, runs out to his right, sees some pressure, and he's brought down. Jordan Theodore was able to get him out there in open space, and a nice job by the sophomore linebacker to get the quarterback down. And as we said, it's been a lot of negative plays for Will East, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, D'Amico's run out to his right. He had Theodore right with him. He thought he could break the tackle, but, Theodore does really smart tackling. He had 10 tackles in their victory against Amherst, and that's a perfect example. He slid down, went low on D'Amico, and wrapped up his legs, and D'Amico couldn't go anywhere.
As I mentioned, Theodore just a sophomore, but contributes on both sides of the ball for Sweet Home, mostly at linebacker. Zimmer says he likes to keep most of his guys focused in just one position. It's pretty rare for Sweet Home to have guys play 2 ways this year, but Will East getting a gain there, and now we got a flag thrown, but getting a gain of 2-3 yards there was Krawcheck.
Gain of about 3 with the flag.
And we'll see where the ball gets moved here with this flag. Not sure if it's on Sweet Home or Will East. The Flames faithful were looking for a face mask.
With the carry.
And it is going to be a face mask against Sweet Home. So another penalty against the Panthers is going to help the Flames. They're going to move deeper into Panther territory here.
Penalty was a face mask, results in a first down Flames.
It was penalties for Sweet Home's offense that slowed down the Panthers' last drive, although they were ultimately able to finish with a touchdown. But now a penalty against the defense, 2 really on this series, if you include the pass interference a few plays ago against Moody, has given Williamsville at least a good chunk of yards. Flames inside the Sweet Home 40 now, 2:45 and running in this first quarter. D'Amico takes the snap with 3 receivers to his left. He'll throw it there. It's Honan on the catch, but Sweet Home's secondary quickly able to snuff him out. Moody and Theodore in there on the combined tackle. And these Sweet Home players, they're hitting hard today. Williamsville East continually getting up pretty slow after tackles. And Zimmer said his defensive guys, they play aggressive, they play fast, they're going to hit you hard. And we've seen that. They're not letting up with this early 16-0 lead.
And that's where you just hit the nail in the coffin. They're playing fast. As soon as these receivers, backs, quarterback for Will East, they're trying to find a way to get open. The speed from these defensive line, linebackers, corners, safeties, they're getting right there to clog up holes and bring them down. 2nd and 9 here for the Flames. Piccolo back in, and we're going to get another flag here. It looks like it'll be against Sweet Home. It will be. Encroachment against the Panthers. Helps Will East. That'll make it 2nd and 4 for the Flames. And as I was just mentioning, Peter Piccolo, number 21 in red, back in there for Will East. Nice to see him after he got shaken up after a big hit on the kick return a moment ago. We got a Sweet Home timeout. 1:50 go in the first quarter. We'll go to a quick break, get some messages in from our sponsors, and be right back for more football action here on WNY Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
And we're back here on WNYathletics.com and the WNY Athletics Facebook page. We thank for all viewers tuning in to today's football action. Section 6, Class A2 clash between Sweet Home and Williamsville East. And right now, it is all visiting team. The Panthers up 16-0 over the Flames here at Williamsville East High School. John Simon, Jacob Fyack here bringing you the call. And, we said at the top of the broadcast, the pluses of spring football here in Western New York. A beautiful April afternoon here in Amherst.
Absolutely. It is, only little clouds in the sky. I know on our broadcast you're maybe hearing that wind a little bit from time to time, but it is gorgeous out. The wind is great, not too hot. Humidity is perfect. Great game for football.
And there was a Sweet Home timeout a moment ago, and that's why we took a break, but it looks like the officials took an extra timeout to give the players some time to drink water, which I guess makes sense with, the heat rising as the season's going on here, spring coming on us, I should say. And, these guys, some of them still might not be in the best shape conditioning-wise. Some of them, haven't done a lot of activities for the last 14 to 15 months. And if they weren't playing a winter sport or a fall sport, they were just doing football activities, just a week or two ago. But before that, there was nothing going on. So definitely good to get these guys hydrated and back onto the field.
Yeah, water break's definitely perfect, especially with this weather. According to my phone, it's currently 81 degrees outside, even with that breeze coming through.
So 1:50 to play in this first quarter. Williamsville East offense putting together right now their best drive of the game so far, albeit they've been assisted by a trio of Sweet Home penalties. It's got them inside the Panther 35. 2nd and 4, Austin D'Amico in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to his left. He gets a pass away, but it's out of bounds. And there's a flag being thrown. And I think this is going to be against the offense, Jake. It looked like Dorian Fasten pushed his defensive back a little bit.
And you are correct on that. It was offensive pass interference. Fasten pushed off on his defender as the ball was going down, as the ball was coming down. And listen, even with that push off, that ball wasn't really that close towards his hands to make a proper catch.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of penalties have hurt Sweet Home in the early going here, but that's a penalty that hurts you if you're Will East. The pass is uncatchable, and instead of having now 3rd and short, you're going to have 2nd and long. I guess if you're Will East, you'll take the extra play, but I would have taken the short yardage on 3rd down rather than now have to face 2nd and looks like 17 here.
And Will East just almost went offside. He had a couple of receivers on the right side that were 3 or 4 yards well beyond scrimmage.
And D'Amico sees immediate pressure from Sweet Home, but he's able to escape it and run ahead. Gets a nice gain. It's going to be about 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 for Will East, but D'Amico doing a nice job making something out of what could have been nothing there as Sweet Home sent the house.
Absolutely, and that's just, like you said, the aggressive, fast play style from Sweet Home. Their defensive line has been stronger and quicker. They're breaking through, and D'Amico using his agility to cut to his left side towards his team's sideline and making a big run to set up a 3rd and 9 coming up for the Flames.
So the Will East Flames trying to figure out how they're going to keep this drive going here. As I said, it's been their best series so far this afternoon. D'Amico in the shotgun again. Piccolo right next to him. He's got 2 receivers out wide to each side. Now Fasten in motion, goes to the right. D'Amico bobbled the snap, and now he's going to take it himself, but he doesn't get far. In there on the tackle for Sweet Home were a couple of players, but Jimmy Griffo, number 72, was the first one to kind of wrap him up by the ankle and bring him down.
Hey, he gained, I want to say, just about a yard on that play.
And Will East is in 4-down territory here, and they got to be aggressive. They don't want to, just give Sweet Home's offense the ball back, already up 16-0. So Will East inside Sweet Home's 40, going to go for it here on 4th and 9. We've seen D'Amico air it out a few times. Hasn't really completed any big passes so far. We'll see what they do here. He takes the snap, looks, throws. It's complete. And it's brought down. We'll see where they spot it.
D'Amico's pass to Cal Honan is complete.
But Honan makes the nice grab there. Was definitely dealing with some pressure from his defender. And that's good enough for a first down. So Will East's best play of the afternoon so far keeps this series going. And they may keep the ball through to the second quarter. Clock's winding down inside 30 seconds here. We'll see if the Flames get one more play off before quarter's end.
Yeah, Honan had a hard time trying to corral that down, and looked like a Sweet Home defender tried to move that ball, but it actually kind of in a way gave him a little breadbasket situation where he's able to hold it in and corral it for a first down.
5 seconds left here, and now we get a whistle down by the Sweet Home sideline. It's going to be a penalty against Sweet Home,
By the
encroachment.
snap, encroachment on the defense.
And
5-yard
now we'll
penalty.
get the runoff, and that is how the first quarter will end. So Will East with the ball and driving. They'll continue this series at the start of the second quarter, but
that's the
through
end of the
one,
quarter.
the visiting Sweet Home Panthers are on top of Will East, 16-0. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back for more action here on WMY Athletics.
WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Welcome back to WMYathletics.com and the WMY Athletics Facebook page. John Simon, Jacob Fyack here, coming to you live from Williamsville East High School for today's football action between the Flames and the visiting Sweet Home Panthers. And right now, the visitors completely dominating this A2 clash. It's 16-0 Sweet Home on top as we start the second quarter, but Will East somewhat knocking on the door of the Panthers' end zone. They've got a good drive going that's at the Sweet Home 20. And that is how we will start the second quarter here. Austin D'Amico in the shotgun again for the Flames. He's been there all afternoon. And he takes the snap and quickly hands it off to Piccolo and avoids the first tackler. He'll pick up a couple yards.
Peter Pacillo with a gain of 3.
And Pacillo just a yard or two short of the first down there, but a nice run
And a flag on the play.
by the running back. But we do have a flag.
That's face mask on the
Face
defense.
mask on the defense.
So another penalty against the Sweet Home
First down
defense.
Flames.
Helps Will East. They get a first down. They're now inside the Panthers' 15. And that's the fourth or fifth penalty against the Panthers just on this series alone.
Yeah, they have to have at least 10 penalties on Sweet Home, and honestly, that's the only problem from Sweet Home. Everything else has been tremendous so far. Defense has put points on the board. Their special teams put points on the board, and their defense at the safety at the beginning of this game.
D'Amico, first and 10, hands it to Pacillo, and he hits a nice hole and is brought down just a yard or two short of the goal line.
Close to the goal line.
But Pacillo with a nice run there. That's a couple for him to start this quarter, and he's got Will East in nice position to get their first points of the day.
And this would be a big break for Will East, and if you get a good stop,
It's first and goal Flames from the 1.
If Sweet Home, you stop Sweet Home on their next drive and you get another quick points on the board, this momentum shifts around.
So it'll be first and goal for Will East from the 1 yard line. Flames looking to get their first points of the day. Down by a couple scores here in the early second quarter. D'Amico in the shotgun. He's got Phoenix Krawczyk to his left. A couple receivers out wide each side, and Krawczyk takes a direct snap, and he's in. No, it's D'Amico, excuse me. D'Amico runs it in from 1 yard out, and the Flames are on the board. It's 16-6. Sweet Home still in front.
Very, very good job by D'Amico. Able to fool the defense. They didn't know who was going to get that ball, and as soon as they get that run, defense wasn't right there, and right there in time, and D'Amico had a nice hole to cut through for a touchdown.
Yeah, D'Amico just finding a nice hole through the line of scrimmage there, and he's got a pretty big frame, listed at 6'4", 200 pounds, so got to be somewhat difficult to bring down. Wouldn't be too surprised to see him try to use his legs a couple more times this afternoon. Extra point attempt now for Will East is up, and That one is good.
Lucas
Miranda knocks that one through to cut the deficit to 9.
Your score, Panthers
So
16,
Sweet Home on
Flames
top
7.
16-7 here, with still 10.5 to play until halftime. So Will East will now kick it away to Sweet Home. Panthers offense had a few roadblocks to get through on their first offensive series, but they were able to finish it with a touchdown. As we mentioned, they got their first 2 other scores, well, their other touchdown thanks to a punt return, and then they had a safety on the first drive of the game for Will East. But some momentum back in the Flames' favor now, as they got their first points of the afternoon, and now they'll look to get a stop on defense and try and get a little bit more momentum on their side.
And you do that by making Sweet Home go quickly 3 and out. That's the main part there. You get them a 3 and out deep in their zone. Depending on where the punt is, try to get your team downfield, get another quick touchdown. You make this only a 2-point deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the Sweet Home defense back out on the field as quickly as you possibly can. I know that they kind of had a decent break with the quarter ending there, during that last Will East drive, but they were out there for a considerable amount of time, and Will East kept them moving. And with all the flags being thrown back and having to move back and forth, they definitely got their work in on the last series. So if Will East can get a quick stop and get the offense back out there, I believe you're right, Jake. That would be paying big dividends for the Flames. But the Flames are ready to kick this one away now. Miranda, fresh off the successful extra point, ready to boot this one away. And the ball fell off the tee. I'm surprised the wind is kind of low compared to what it's been at so far this afternoon, but Miranda going to need to fix that ball, and now he appears ready to kick it away.
Yeah, with wind being a little bit of a factor, this could be more of a common occurrence.
See, now the wind's picking up here, and the ball's fine. Before, there was no wind. And he gets the kick away. This one not as far as his last. Redden fielding it around the 20 for Sweet Home. He takes it to the middle, and he hits a nice hole. Gets away from a tackler. Avoids another one on the right side and gets out around the 46-47. So a nice return for Tazir Redden. Gives Sweet Home some favorable positioning to start their next offensive drive.
Redden has tremendous field awareness. He knows where to go. As soon as he finds the holes, he takes a quick second, cuts right through. He cuts through the middle, finds some outside the right side to give his team another 5 yards on that return and puts him in really good field position.
Yeah, just used some great vision on their return there, hit a couple nice holes, and was able to avoid some tacklers in small spaces. But Sweet Home, as we said, getting a great start on this drive. They're at their own 47. 1st and 10, Laws in the shotgun. And he fakes the handoff to Gaines, but he'll throw, and he goes deep down the right side looking for Redden again. But that one just a few strides in front of his receiver. And we've seen that a couple times from Laws so far, just overshooting his guys by a stride or two.
Yeah, and his guys are getting open. They're blowing right by the last line of defense. Law just a little bit more, less strength on that, a little more touch on the ball, and they're gone for a touchdown.
Yeah, all 4 Sweet Home receivers just ran straights, and you look down the field and you just saw 4 white jerseys and gold helmets almost, in sync with one another in a small line of Willie's defensive backs, a couple yards behind them. Just shows you how much speed this Sweet Home team really boasts on, in all phases. Special teams, offense, defense, skill positions, defensive line. 3 receivers now to Law's right on the 2nd and 10. Option play, he pitches it to Gaines, and he gets a couple yards up along the right side there, but is knocked out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd and about 6 or 7 here for Sweet Home.
Tackle by Alex Cook. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6. 3rd and 6.
So they'll give him 4 on that carry. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Panthers, right at the 50-yard line. Sweet Home coming off of a 21-7 Week 1 victory over Amherst. Will East was defeated by West Seneca East in a non-league game. We'll explain that when we have a free minute, but Laws takes the third down snap, and he makes a pass complete. That's number 16, Antoine Holmes, and that'll give Sweet Home the first down and keep this drive alive. So Holmes, a 6'1" senior receiver there, able to make the catch. He's listed as 15 on the roster, but 16, pretty big and lanky out there, so I assume that's Mr. Holmes, and I don't see a 15 on the sideline for Sweet Home. So I'm going to give him credit for that catch. Congratulations, Mr. Holmes, whether you did it or not. But Sweet Home 1st and 10 here from the Willys 37. Laws takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Gaines, makes a nice move to avoid some tacklers. Now he's going to try to get a gain out of this play, and he might have gotten one. And that was a nice job to avoid the tackle by Gaines, but Will East, you know, they didn't make the big tackle, Jake, but they kept him from making any big gain there.
I'll tell you what, that's one of the best 1-yard runs I've actually ever seen. He went through the middle, he cut back, got so much space, he's able to cut the outside with his speed, and only got one on the play, but that was really impressive that he got that 1 yard.
But Will East doing a nice job at least keeping the run to a minimum, still making it 2nd and long for the Panthers. Laws continuing to go with 4 wide and staying in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Gaines there, and he avoids another tackle. He rolls out to left and gets a pass away, and it's caught. We'll see if they rule him inbounds, and yeah, I think that's the right call, Jake. Cyrus Jones made the catch, but his foot came down on the the white portion of the sideline there.
Yeah,
that's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, you can't have that.
So a nice job there by Laws to avoid the first tackle, roll out, and get the pass away. And Jones did make the catch, but half of his foot landed on that white portion of the sideline, so that's not going to be a rule to catch. So 3rd and long here for the Panthers. Trying to keep this drive alive and extend their 9-point lead. Laws rolls to his right, avoids one tackle. Looks like he's going to try and do it on his own. And he gets wrapped up, and that's going to be only about a gain of 1. So a nice job by Will East again to keep the gain to a minimum for Laws. And we'll see what the Panthers do here. They got a decision to make on 4th down.
Tackle by 52, Owen Valley.
Yeah, 4th and 9. Obviously, you're going to see, for them to go for it here. But this is when Will East needs to step up, need to put their foot down, be locked down, especially on their corners and linebackers, to make sure that no pass or no run gets off. As soon as you see someone with that ball running down the field, you get 3 or 4 guys there right away to stop them to get to the first down.
And Owen Valley, junior linebacker for Will East, was the one to make the stop there. He was first in on Laws. Was a little shaken up after the play, so he went to the sideline. We'll see and hope that he's all right. But 4th and about 7 here for Sweet Home. Laws takes the snap, sees some pressure. He'll roll out to his right. Continuing to run, backs up, and he got the ball away, but that pass isn't going anywhere. It's out of bounds. And Will East turns it over. A nice job by the Flames to stand strong. They'll get the ball back here with 8:50 to go till half.
That was beautiful. The interior line on Will East's defense broke through. Laws moved out to his right, had no one to throw to, and his last second, he chucked up the ball and went out of bounds, and turnover on downs. Now you got Will East with 8:50 remaining here in the first half, with a chance to cut this lead down to single digits.
Yeah, the momentum has certainly shifted in Williamsville East's favor, and the Flames they did return, or they got the ball to start this game, I should say, so they'll be set to kick it away to Sweet Home to start the second half. So it would absolutely be great for the Flames if they could get another score here before halftime. Plenty of time to go until then, though. 8:50 remaining here in the second quarter, and Will East will start this drive from their own 35. D'Amico looks to throw on first down. That one's far over his receiver head, and unable to come up with the interception was David Nettles, but he was really the only one close to that overthrown pass. And Nettles, a junior defensive back for Sweet Home, part of a young but talented secondary. Both their starting corners, Marcus Hunt and Nate Moody, were starters as sophomores last season for the Panthers. They did a nice job covering that pass play there. 2nd and 10 for the Flames. D'Amico in the shotgun again. He's got 2 out wide to each side, along with Pacillo in the backfield. And Pacillo will take the handoff, picks up a first down, and then some. He's across the 50 and gets over the 40 into Sweet Home territory. So another nice run for Peter Pacillo. That's a 30-yard run. And the Flames offense has things rolling now. They are into Sweet Home territory with that big gain.
We talked about on Sweet Home side with Laws, Gaines, and Redden having tremendous speed. Pacillo showing there as he cut to the left side, getting tremendous room to cut through, and he gets a 30-yard gain and puts his team in a tremendous position to try to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, I mentioned before he's only listed at 5'3", but he can move quick and get through that line with a burst of speed. 8 minutes and counting to go. D'Amico keeps this one off the fake to Pacillo. And he's avoiding a couple tackles and gets pushed out of bounds.
Austin D'Amico with a bootleg,
but he picked up a nice gain there, but we do have a flag. And we'll see. It looks like this is going to go against Williamsville East. Yep.
So personal foul on the offense. We're bringing it back for 2nd and long.
So it's a personal foul against Williamsville East that negates the run by D'Amico that would have been about a 4 or 5 yard gain, and the Flames sideline not happy with that call, but you know, say what you want, they've certainly gotten a number of breaks their way so far in this game.
Oh, they definitely have, and refs see it, they're going to see it, and I feel like the refs, in this game have been really good and on top of their calls so far, and Sweet Home's had their fair share in the first quarter, and Will East is showing it, a little bit here. Ref's going to see it. He's going to see it. He's going to throw the flag. And
what hurts Williamsville East really on that play is the significance of the loss. It's a 15-yard decrease for Will East. It's going to be 1st and 25 from their own 48 now. D'Amico takes the snap. Quick pass is away, but it's incomplete. Was looking for Christian early there, and he might have just taken his eye off the ball before tracking it into his hands. Jake might have heard the footsteps coming from Sweet Home's safety.
Yeah, he definitely did, and I'm surprised they weren't doing that a little bit more often. That was really successful there. They got the corners and safety to move back enough where Christian early was getting up space for a catch, but as soon as D'Amico threw it, early either heard the footsteps or he just wasn't in that position he was supposed to be to haul that ball in.
So 2nd and 25 for the Flames. Had a nice start to this drive with the big run by Pacillo, and then D'Amico picks up some yards with a tough run, but it's been negated by the penalty, but now they'll get some yards back as Gaines jumped the line there for Sweet Home. That'll help Will East a little bit.
Offsides defense.
Yeah, Gaines wanted to get in there right away. He must have heard of D'Amico, trying to get him to jump, and it worked.
If you're Sweet Home, sometimes you don't mind those penalties. With the speed that those guys get off the line at, you'll take, a false start every now and then. But with the amount of penalties that they've taken so far in this game, that's the last thing you want to see. But it'll be 2nd and looks like 18 for Will East here. D'Amico dropping back, looks to air it out again. It's well over his receiver's head and intercepted. That was number 21, David Nettles, picking that pass off. And he had a play relatively similar just a few snaps ago. The ball was thrown over his receiver's head. He just couldn't track it that time. But the second time around for Nettles, he's able to get it. And that's a nice turnaround for Sweet Home. They get the ball back here with 7:21 to go till half.
David Nettles had an interception last week against Amherst along with his buddy Dyer Fleming. And he gets one there, gets us the 2nd of the season. It's just another overthrow by D'Amico.
So the first turnover of this game for either side results in Sweet Home getting the ball at their own 23. That was a tough way for a Will East drive that had a lot of promise with the 30-yard run by Pacillo at the start. But Sweet Home now up 9 with the ball again. Gaines gets the handoff, avoids some tacklers and gets out wide, but he's hit hard down low. That'll keep the gains to a minimum.
Jalen Redden.
And that's a nice tackle there by Krawczyk to track down the running back.
Jalen Gaines. And tackled by number 4, Christian Early.
Actually, that was early on the tackle. Crawcheck right by there as well.
2nd and 7.
Yeah, Gaines got 3 yards on that play, and it was a good job. That's all the room he had was cut to the outside, and good defense there from Will East, Christian Early, to make that big tackle.
And that's what we haven't seen from Sweet Home yet, Jake. You know, they have a talented group of running backs. They've got a lot of speed, but we haven't seen them put together a drive yet where they've consistently just ran the ball downfield on Will East. Laws has made some nice pass plays. He's ran himself. They've gotten help from defense and special teams, but we haven't seen a consistent, sustained drive yet. But we get another run play here. This time it's Jordan Theodore, and he picks up a first down with a gain of about 9 there for Sweet Home.
Carried by number 8, Theodore Jordan.
And Theodore, one of the
Brought down by Cook and Early.
few running backs that Zimmer plans to use in this game and this season. Along with Gaines. Theodore will certainly get a lot of carries this year for Sweet Home. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 37 here. And it's a direct snap. This one going to Theodore again, and he gets some space to the outside, and it looks like he's got another first down.
Did you see the trickery on that play? You had Laws in the shotgun formation with Gaines to his right. Jordan was just up in front of him. They hike it to Jordan to get a little bit of a trickery play to fool Will East. He cuts to the left side, gets plenty of room, and last 2 plays, 2 first downs for Sweet Home.
Yeah, the Panthers are now right at midfield and putting together another nice drive here. Their last one ended with a turnover on downs deep in Will East territory. We'll see if the Panthers can complete this one with a score. First and 10 from the 50. Laws handing this one off. This one is Dyer Fleming, and he picks up about 1 for Sweet Home.
20, Dyer Fleming.
And Dyer Fleming, a 5'10", 180-pound junior.
Alex Amico.
Also plays defensive back as
Gain
well
of 2,
for Sweet
2nd
Home,
and 8.
but Zimmer said he's also part of that running back stable. He said the top 3 guys he planned to use today were Gaines, Fleming, and Theodore. And so far in this first half, we've seen each of them get a carry. Nearing 5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Sweet Home still leading Will East 16-7. The Panthers, however, have not gotten any points on the board in this quarter. Laws in the shotgun now. Gaines to his left. 4 receivers out wide. Fakes the handoff to Gaines. He'll look to throw. Saw some pressure, and he'll run it himself. And that's a gain of about 3 yards for Laws. It'll bring up 3rd and manageable for the Panthers.
Owen Valley with a hit.
And real nice awareness there by Laws. Deep in the pocket, was looking to throw. And I don't know, he's got to have great peripheral vision, because I didn't know that he would notice those defenders coming at him from behind his back. But it was almost like a second sense. The second he saw those defenders running almost with eyes in the back of his head, he darted forward and picked up a couple yards.
Yeah, he did, but give credit to Willie's secondary. They're doing a good job shutting down these receivers a bit. Laws has had a couple of plays where, if you make some good touches on the ball, they could have more points on the board, but right now the secondary for Willie's is looking strong so far.
3rd and 5 now. Laws takes the snap, looks to throw, sees some pressure, and he's knocked back but not down. He's running to keep the play alive. He's tripped up, still has the control, and now he's intercepted. Laws did everything he could to keep the play alive, but an errant pass goes into the hands of Alex Cook, and Will East takes over around the Sweet Home 45. And actually, it'll be at the Sweet Home 40. And we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Alex Cook, normally Will East starting quarterback, but was banged up last week against West Seneca East. Did not start today on offense, but he's contributing on the defensive side, makes a big play there. And Will East now with an opportunity to cut down their deficit before halftime with 3:37 to go here in the quarter.
Will East has now just flipped us a bit, and they could do it even more with the score here with late in the first half as we get a water timeout. That's a tremendous job. They broke through. Again, the interior defense of Will East breaks through. Laws thought he was going to get down for a sack, but he does a great job breaking through, cuts to the right side, thinks he has a man as he throws on the run. That arm strength just wasn't there enough, and Cook grabs it, leans up, and takes the ball away from Sweet Home's offense for an interception.
And you got to love the hustle from Laws there, wanting to keep the play alive, wanting to make something happen. But, if you're Sweet Home, you almost think that's one where you almost wish you would have just thrown it away and then dealt with 4th and 5, inside Will East territory. That would have been much more manageable for them. And, of course, they didn't think it would end in the interception. But that's football. And for Will East, we mentioned their Week 1 game against Kenmore East was canceled due to the Bulldogs being on pause due to COVID. So Will East was informed roughly 24 hours before kickoff that they were going to be playing West Seneca East last week. And, it's a non-league game, somewhat of an unfamiliar opponent. And the other caveat of that, Jake, is Kenmore East and West Seneca East are two completely different teams when it comes to offensive schemes. Will East prepped through their entire, opening week of practice for a spread team. And then last minute they find out they're facing single wing. West Seneca East threw one pass the entire game. So just getting that wrench thrown into their game plan, I think, was a lot for them to deal with last week. You're now seeing a much more, well-prepared Will East team this week against Sweet Home.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, I think it was the lack of preparation that they had to.
Not even the lack of preparation, lack of time to be able to prep for that team.
Exactly. You didn't have much time to prep against their opponent in Week 1. But now you had basically 7 days to go up against Sweet Home, and Sweet Home's been a really tough opponent so far. And like we mentioned earlier, they beat Amherst 21-7 in Week 1 on April 1st. And now that Will East has had prep against Sweet Home, they've shown that they can make adjustments here. They've seen what Sweet Home's done so far, so good job there for Will East head coach Mike Torello making some adjustments here as this game has gone along. And they're in this game. They're only down by 9 points.
And Sweet Home, they had obviously their struggles with getting ready for the season as well. I'll get to that in a moment. As D'Amico ready to take this first down snap from the Sweet Home 40. Drops back, throws, got a flag, and I think that ball hit the turf, but Pachillo's still running with it. And now the ball's loose. It's picked up by Sweet Home. It's Redden, and he's got nothing but green grass in front of him, and actually it's Marcus Hunt, and he's going to run that in for a touchdown, but we'll see what happens on this play because there was a flag well before the fumble was forced. We've also got Pachillo down around midfield for Will East. He took a big shot, so we'll have to get a few things sorted out here before this play is confirmed.
It looked like that penalty might have been on Will East. And it was, and it's going to be a touchdown, a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
So Sweet Home's defense got them their first points of the game with a safety way back early in the first quarter. And now a 50-yard fumble return, touchdown for Marcus Hunt, gives the Panthers more points. They're now up 22-7.
Yeah, just a big break for Sweet Home. You figured Will East, after that interception, they would have a chance to get down the field, but a big, broken play that set up Sweet Home to pick up that fumble, and Marcus, you got
Marcus Hunt.
Yeah, I believe Marcus Hunt for Sweet Home picked it up and returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah, he picked it up and took it about 50 yards back to the house, and as we said, that's the second points contribution today by just the Sweet Home defense. Extra point is now up, and it's good. Jacob Cordy knocks it through. That makes it 23-7, Panthers on top.
Your score.
With 3:20 to go until half. And, that's just a backbreaker for Will East to give up that touchdown. They get the interception. They stop Sweet Home's last drive, which was, looking pretty good. They take over in Sweet Home territory, and on the very first play, they give it back up, and it leads to quick Sweet Home points. But I was just talking a moment ago, Jake, we mentioned Will East's tough start to the season, having to play West Seneca East on short notice. But, Jeremy Zimmer said it wasn't easy preparing for Amherst either. He told me when I talked to him yesterday, he was kind of all in favor at first of not playing a scrimmage or a preseason game before Week 1, to start this regular season. He was okay with that. He was, fine with just waiting for the regular season to start, not risking injuries, guys getting sick, whatever. But, you know, playing the first half against Amherst, he said it took a while for the Panthers to get used to actual game speed, especially for Tyrell Laws, who I mentioned had 3 turnovers in that first half against Amherst. He said they weren't used to game speed. You know, Tyrell's used to, you know, doing things in practice that he can't do in games, and it was a little bit of a wake-up call for them against Amherst. So it was a slow start for Sweet Home as well in their first game. They had short time to prepare for Amherst, only about 10 days of practice, but, you know, they're now more prepared for this game against Will East, as is the Flames are more prepared than their Week 1 game. So it's equal for everybody. Everybody had strange off seasons due to COVID and short time to prepare with this spring or fall 2 season. But both teams back out on the field now, 3:20 to go in this first half. Sweet Home getting their first points of the second quarter with that fumble return touchdown by Marcus Hunt. And the lead back up to 16 for the Panthers. Zach Collins ready to kick this one away. And he gets a good foot on this one. It's returned from the Will East 5. Christian Early with it. Gets over the 20 and about to the 25, maybe a yard short.
Christian Early with the 20-yard return.
So Will East offense heading back out onto the field following the return touchdown a moment ago. And Will East got the ball to start this game, so Sweet Home will be returning the kick to start the third quarter. So we'll see if that impacts how Will East will take this offensive series. They might want to get downfield quick and get into the end zone before we reach halftime. Certainly don't want to go into the break down a pair of scores. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
We got 3:13 remaining in the first quarter. Sweet Home currently up on Will East 23-7.
First and 10 from the 25 for Will East. D'Amico in the shotgun, fastened to his left, and we got a jump on the line. How this game's gone, I'd have to assume it's against Sweet Home. It is. It's encroachment, and that's going to push Will East up.
And like I keep mentioning, other than the penalties, they've done a very good job so far. That other than a little bit, you know, that interception for Tyrell Laws, everything else in the penalties, everything else has been very solid for Sweet Home on every asset of their strength on offense, defense, special teams. They've done really well. Yeah,
Jeremy Zimmer said, you know, going into every game, he tells his team, the biggest thing is us. It's not about the opponent, it's about us. We've got enough talent to play with anybody, to beat anybody in our league. Just can't beat ourselves, and the Panthers have been doing that somewhat with penalties today.
That's got to be another flag on Sweet Home.
Yeah, it's another one, another encroachment call against the Panthers, and Will East picking up some yards here, some much-needed yards, and not giving up too much time to do it, just a second off the clock. And the Flames have already picked up 10 yards on a first down here. But now time running again, nearing 3 minutes to play in the half. Will East scored their first points of the game earlier in this frame on a 1-yard scamper by D'Amico. He's in the shotgun again here, takes the snap, looks to his left, avoids some pressure from the Sweet Home front line. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. The ball came loose, but I think he was already out of bounds.
15-yard gain, first down Flames.
And that's a gain of 15. It's going to put Will East right around midfield.
His longest run so far, interior line of Will East ended up falling through. He cuts to his left. D'Amico going to the outside, getting 15 yards, more than enough for a first down.
Well, this puts Will East right at the 50. Looking to keep momentum going. Aside from, you know, the fumble return touchdown and the interception, the offense has played a pretty good second quarter for the Flames. Just those 2 turnovers, really, their only mishaps. D'Amico, shotgun snap, hands it off to Fast, and he runs right into the line of scrimmage. Might have pushed forward for a gain of 1, but he was quickly swallowed up there.
Gain of 2, second and 8.
Clock still running here. Nearing 2:15. Second and 8 for the Flames. 4 out wide, 2 to each side for D'Amico. Facing again to his right. Quick pass early. the recipient. Knocked down by a pair of Panther defenders a couple yards short of the first down, and that'll make it third and manageable for Will East, but we do have a Flames timeout. We'll see what they discuss in this huddle here, but they got a big play coming up here on third and short. With that, we'll take a quick timeout and come right back for more action here on WNY Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Welcome back to WNYathletics.com and the WNY Athletics Facebook page. John Simon and Jacob Fyack here coming to you live from Williamsville East High School for some Saturday afternoon Section 6 football action. It's a Class A2 matchup, as the Will East Flames currently trail the visiting Sweet Home Panthers 23-7 with 2:04 to go here in the second quarter. But Will East with the ball and driving. They're at the Panthers 43, looking to get into the end zone for the second time this quarter and cut their deficit back down to single digits.
And we're not only on the Facebook page, we're also live streaming on our Twitter account and on our YouTube page as well.
Third and 2 here for Will East. D'Amico completes the pass, but it's out, and they're going to rule that incomplete. That one intended for Abdul Alakabash, and he just couldn't really get a full handle on that ball. Lucky for Will East that he didn't really complete the pass. Otherwise, that would have been their third turnover of the quarter.
Yeah, he tried to reel it in as soon as he got hit. I believe that was, I want to say Marcus Hunt as well, that could have been there to pick it off.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also could have been a fumble if they ruled that a catch and then the ball came out. Sweet Home could have easily picked it up and ran it back again, but it stays with Will East. It's 4th and 3, and they're in 4-down territory. Now we'll see Alex Cook at quarterback for the first time, their usual starter, but was injured in last week's game. He takes the snap, looks over the middle, almost completed that one to D'Amico. It bounced off his hands and was almost picked off by Moody. But it doesn't really matter for the Panthers, as it's a turnover on downs. And Sweet Home will get the ball back here with 1:54 left in the half. And Sweet Home could add to their lead before taking a break at the midway point. They will receive the kick to start the third quarter. But if they could get into the end zone here and take a 3-score lead into halftime, that would give them, commanding control of this game.
Yeah, very interesting that they switched QBs from D'Amico to Cook. Like you mentioned, Cook, was hurt on their week one loss to West Seneca East. So maybe the Cook said he thought he was good enough to go. Coach trusted him.
He did come up with a nice play on defense earlier in this game, and D'Amico usually plays wide receiver for Will East. Maybe Torilla wanted his pass catching ability on that 4th down there. They did throw to him, so maybe that was the strategy there. But nevertheless, Sweet Home takes over 1st and 10 from their own 43. Laws reverses it to Redden. He's met by a couple Flames and is brought down for a gain of what looks to be 4 yards. But Sweet Home pulling out a different look there, and Redden moving the line forward a little bit. And it is a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for Sweet Home now. Clock inside the final 90 seconds of the first half. Sweet Home with 3 out wide to Laws left. He drops the snap, and it's picked up by Facken. Fasson got tripped up, but it was a fumble. And that's a turnover by Sweet Home. Will East quickly gets it back. That's huge for the Flames, and a heads-up play there by Faison.
What a heads-up play by Tyrell Law as well. If he doesn't trip up Fasson, he's gone. He would have been clear sailing the end zone for a touchdown. And as soon as he bobbled it, he knew he wasn't going to get there in time and had to make the adjustment to make that big tackle.
And I don't know what happened on the snap there, if it just went through Law's hands or if it was a little low, but Sweet Home's defense now going to have to come with a big stop here in the final 1:14 of the quarter to keep this 16-point lead. And Will East sticking with Alex Cook at quarterback. D'Amico remains at wide receiver. He's at the bottom of your screen. Cook, he's going to run it off the snap and gets out across the 25. Actually, they'll mark him at the 26. And now we're inside a minute here. They ruled him inbounds, so the clock continues to run for Will East. 2nd and 1, 50 seconds to go till halftime. Cook the snap, looks to throw, still sees nothing, avoids some pressure, and now he's brought down by Gaines, but he did move forward for a first down. So that'll stop the clock for a moment and move the chains ahead for the Flames. But a nice job there by Cook to read the play, buy his time, and now the clock continues to tick. 30 seconds to go in the half. 1st and 10 for Will East from the Sweet Home 24. Cook, shotgun snap, looks out to his left, passes deep in the end zone, and it's intercepted. Sweet Home forces their 3rd turnover of the 2nd quarter. This time it's Fleming picking that one off. And with 18 seconds to go in the quarter, the Panthers quickly get the ball back.
That's just a really tough challenge for Cook to throw. There was triple coverage on Darian Fasten, and it was going to be hard for Fasten to try and grab that ball in. You know, it's only one Will East defender against one Will East, wide receiver going up against 3 Sweet Home defenders. And in that situation, Fleming just was able to reach out, had a much bigger wingspan, and just was able to grab it for an interception.
Yeah, but I like the aggressiveness from Will East there. You're down 2 scores. You know that Sweet Home is going to return the kick to start the 3rd quarter, receive the kick to start the 3rd quarter. And you see the Panthers just going to kneel this out and take it to halftime here. But I like the aggressiveness from the Flames. You want to try and get to the end zone before halftime, cut it back to a 1-score game. But, that's the risk that you take on that sort of play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those, turnovers where it doesn't, haunt you as the game progresses along. It's just a turnover towards late in the game that leads to no points for them for Sweet Home, and we now hit halftime with Sweet Home up on Will East 23-7.
Yeah, so that will take us to half. We'll take a 10-12 minute break, get some messages in from our friends and sponsors, but stay tuned to the WNY Athletics Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching. Jacob and I will be back in just a few for second half action between Sweet Home and Williamsville East.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you call on the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you call on the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you call on the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you call on the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube. Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Welcome back to WNY Athletics and WNYathletics.com, the WNY Athletics Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you are watching today's matchup. We are just about ready for third quarter action here at Williamsville East High School between the home Flames and the visiting Sweet Home Panthers. John Simon, Jacob Fayok here, bringing you live coverage of today's Section 6 Class A2 high school football action. And as we head into this third quarter, the Panthers set to receive the kick to start the second half are up 23-7. And really, Jake, you know, the Panthers offense played pretty well in the first half, but this lead has been built on, you know, help from defense and special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. It started off on the defense. It was a safety that put them up 2-0. That ensuing kickoff, you had Redden that took it almost, I believe, past more than 50 yards to the house to go up 9-0. They want to go up 16-0 after Tyrell Law's 25-yard touchdown run. The second quarter, Willies comes back, 1-yard touchdown run from Domenico to cut it down to 9. And then as Pachillo and Will East were getting the ball upfield after forcing a turnover, Pachillo ends up fumbling it. Marcus Hunt for Sweet Home picks it up, goes to the house to make it 23-7, and that's where our score stands now as we're almost ready to start the second half.
And Will East forced a big turnover late in the...
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie.
Yeah, they were intercepted themselves by Sweet Home. Sweet Home's defense forced 3 turnovers in that second quarter alone, one being the fumble return, 2 others being interceptions, and that kind of gave the Panthers a nice cushion going into halftime. A 16-point lead, and that is how we will start this third quarter. But Sweet Home in the all-white uniforms with the gold helmets ready to receive this kick to start the third quarter, and Will East heading out to kick this thing off.
Miranda will kick off for the Flames. Laws and Redden back deep for the Panthers.
Still a beautiful afternoon here in Western New York, out in the Amherst, Williamsville area. Clear skies, little wind, lots of sunlight. It's a beautiful April afternoon, and after checking the Mets score during halftime, I'm glad I'm not watching baseball today. So we're ready for the second half. Lucas Miranda ready to kick it off again for Williamsville East. Laws, Redden back to return for the Panthers. And Miranda gets a nice kick away. That goes over the head of Redden, and it'll bounce into the Sweet Home end zone for a touchback. You know, it's kind of rare, I feel like, in past seasons, seeing good special teams play. And there have been some special teams mistakes today, but both place kickers, Jake, really doing a nice job kicking the ball downfield. And I said maybe it's because some soccer kids are playing football this year with the sports not being in the same season. But, you know, from when I was in high school, special teams play, kicking specifically, has really improved around in this area.
Yeah, it definitely has. And like you mentioned, that most kickers on these football teams have a soccer background, and that definitely is a big help. And we've seen it a couple times in this game that's led to touchbacks.
So 1st and 10 for Sweet Home from their own 20. Tyrell Laws, one of the best all-around athletes in Western New York, in at quarterback for Sweet Home. And he's going to keep the ball here on the first snap of the quarter and run up ahead for a gain of about 5-6 yards.
Laws on the keyboard.
Laws was grabbing his right leg as he went down, but he's quickly back up, though.
Laws and his running back,
Get 4, 2nd and 6.
Mr. Jalen Gaines, had a nice week in week 1 against Amherst, combined for about 280 rushing yards. And Gaines was relatively quiet in the first half. Sweet Home didn't really get their running game started at all. But, you know, when he was in, he definitely made a big impact. And, of course, Laws scoring Sweet Home's lone touchdown, offensive touchdown, I should say, with his run in the second quarter. First, I should say. That was late in the first quarter. And now here's Gaines on the handoff on second down. Gets to the outside and drags a Will East defender with him. He was carried out of bounds there by Cook.
Gaines on the carry.
And that's
First out of
going to
bounds by Alex Cook.
pick up the first down for Sweet Home.
Good for the Panthers. First down.
And the chain guys must be sleeping. They're behind the yard marker. But a nice run there by Gaines. Like I said, dragging a couple Willies defenders with him. He's listed as 190, 5'11". That's a pretty big frame, and when you're running with some speed, it's hard to bring that man down. So 1:20 gone by in this opening quarter of the second half. 3 receivers to Law's left, 2 out wide to the right. He takes the snap and looks to the right, runs back to avoid some pressure, throws one off his back foot, and it's knocked down. Could have been intercepted by Williamsville East, but almost, a couple defenders, it looked like almost collided there, Jake, causing them not to come up with the pick.
Yeah, Laws, but questioning what he's doing in terms of throwing the football. He's rolling out to his right, and essentially he's running into a Willie's defender and just chucks it and see if his wide receiver can just catch it with a prayer, and that could have easily been intercepted, but there was a lot of contact, like you mentioned, that ended up that ball being jarred loose.
That sequence was very reminiscent of, what Laws did when he ended up getting intercepted by Alex Cook late in the first half. It was the same type of play, broken down, rolled out to his right, threw off his back foot, and just kind of left a little bit too much air under it. And he was lucky that time it didn't end up in the hands of a Will East defender. 2nd and 10 now. Laws, option. Pitches it to Gaines, but he lost the ball, and he doesn't dive on it. Now Will East has it. It's picked up, and it's going to be run back by the Flames, and he scores. Danny Cannon, the big man, number 72 with the scoop and score. And that's a huge play by the Flames to start the third quarter. They cut the deficit down. It's now 23-13, Sweet Home.
Like you said, Danny Cannon, the senior offensive lineman, in this case playing defensive line, 6'1", 240 pounds, has some really good speed on him. He grabs the ball, picks it up, and just takes it to the house. And this extra point cuts it down to single digits if they're able to get it.
So we'll see actually if Will East elects to go for 2 here. They're down 10.
Well, they might.
So if they get the successful conversion, it would make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, it looks like they are going for 2. Yeah, if they convert it, they technically can make it a 1-score game, because if they stop Sweet Home on defense and they score again, they can go for 2 and tie it up, potentially.
Cook remains in at quarterback, takes the snap, throws, and he completes it early in the front end of the end zone. There to make the catch, and it's a 10 or 8-point game now, Sweet Home on top, 23-15.
And that was a beautiful design play. Nice little screen action on the right side. Cook able to throw it to his teammate Christian Early, who was wide open. Lead's now cut down to 8. 23-15 is our score. 10:09 remaining in the third quarter.
And, it's funny just, how the second quarter ended with Will East. They had an opportunity to make it a 1-score game, but turned it over late in the period. Sweet Home kneeled it out and took it to half, knowing that they would get the ball to start the third. And then they start to put a nice drive together and then end up losing it, and it ends up being a Will East touchdown. So a really, really strange series of events there, but it really works out for the Flames. And we got ourselves a football game here. We should note Will East is down another player, Aiden Lynn, the 6'3", 285-pound lineman, plays both sides of the ball, is on the sideline with his jersey, shoulder pads off, and an ice pack strapped around his shoulder. So have to assume that Mr. Lynn is done for today. But 10:09 to play in the third. Will East set to kick this one away again. Miranda got a nice boot down the field when he kicked off to start the quarter. Redden and Laws back there again for the Panthers to receive. Again, It's kicked over the head of Redden, and it'll once again land in the end zone for a
That's another
touchback.
touchback for Lucas Miranda.
And they're keeping the ball away from Sweet
First and
Home's
10
speed,
Panthers from the
guys.
20.
They don't want to see any more return touchdowns, not giving Sweet Home a chance to run in the open field. They are going to make this offense earn their touchdowns here in the second half.
You know, kicking hasn't really been a strong suit here in Western New York for the past couple of years, and just seeing that by Miranda easily going into the end zone, I think it might have just bounced maybe at the 1 yard line and went into the end zone. You know, that's really great job, and, you know, good boot on his leg to set Sweet Home in a much farther drive than they were anticipated.
They'll start here from the 28-point lead for the Panthers. Laws takes the snap, quick pass out to Redden, and he just overfires there. Might have just been a little bit behind him.
Incomplete.
It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10 Panthers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's been a continuing problem for Ty Laws. He had a beautiful, you know, catch on his first pass attempt that went 30 yards, but other than that, he's thrown high a good amount of times towards his receivers.
Wind starting to pick up a little bit here at Williamsville East. The sun is still out. Temperature's still warm, but getting a little bit more of a breeze here in the start of the third quarter could impact both offenses a little bit. 2nd and 10, Laws. Options there to Theodore. Gets by a few Willie's defenders, but he's met right at the line by a gang of more Flames. They're going to limit him to maybe a gain of 1, if that.
Option and pitch.
And we got a 3rd and long coming up here for Sweet Home.
Stop by Nathan Sherman.
This is just tremendous. You know, we talked about momentum being a big part of this game, you know, in every sport in particular. And it was all on Sweet Home's side when they went up 23-7 after they picked up that fumble for a touchdown. Willis gets a fumble return for a touchdown of their own, and they go for 2. They convert it. They cut it down to 8, and a 3rd down and 10, and Sweet Home having a hard time getting the ball down the field.
Yeah, they're facing a 3rd and long right now. Haven't gained any yards on this series. Now we got a whistle, and it's a timeout call for the Panthers.
Timeout,
So
Sweet Home.
with their backs somewhat against the wall, at least they're knocked back on their heels a little bit to start this third quarter here. Jake Sweet Home calling a timeout and assuming they're drawing up something for this 3rd and long. And we'll take a quick break with that timeout and come right back for more action here on WNY Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Welcome back to the WNY Athletics Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, or WNYathletics.com, wherever you may be watching. Third quarter action here between Sweet Home and Williamsville East at the home of the Flames, Will East High School. Panthers up 23-15, facing a 3rd and 10 deep in their own territory at their own 20. Haven't moved since the start of this drive. Ty Laws back in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Theodore with him in the backfield. Quick snap, steps up, completes a pass to Theodore. He's got some space, runs up ahead and is brought down, but that's enough for a first. The sophomore Theodore with a nice catch and run there, and that keeps this drive going for Sweet Home.
Stop by Owen Valley.
And that was tremendous there.
Panthers.
Real nice catch by the sophomore. The pass was just a little bit in front of him. Had to make a quick adjustment and catch it a little bit low. Didn't really have his chest as a backboard to do it. Just had to catch it, and just nice hands there by the sophomore running back.
Yeah, absolutely. That was beautiful. He had to adjust. After he did, he got that burst of speed, went down the left side to get plenty of yardage, and that sets up a nice first down for Sweet Home.
Laws on first down, immediately sees some pressure, and he'll run it. Gets up ahead for maybe a yard or 2.
Laws on the keeper. Knocked out of bounds by Phoenix Krosick.
But he's knocked out of bounds. It'll stop the clock. 8:19 to go in the third quarter. And Sweet Home now starting to get things going on offense here in the third. They've been saved a lot in this game by help from the defense, special teams, but have definitely had their fair share of penalties called against them.
It looks like they only gave Laws a yard on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Laws again in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right this time, along with Theodore in the backfield. Laws looking downfield. Throws again. And that one, he tried to squeeze it in between a pair of defenders. Was looking for Tazir Redden, but it falls incomplete, and now the Panthers going to face another 3rd and long.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, he tried to look to Redden, who had a safety in a corner on him. He also could have actually went to number 12 on his left side, who was wide open. It was Jake Dunstan.
So 3rd and 8 for Sweet Home now. They were able to convert on the long situation just a few plays ago. Laws going with 5 wide here. Alone in the shotgun, immediate pressure. He's got 3 Flames near him. Rolls out, throws it, and it's knocked down. A nice play there by Alabakish to knock it down and out of bounds. And we'll see what Sweet Home does here. They're in their own side of the field, and they're not past the 40. So I wonder if the Panthers will punt here, and I believe this would be their first punt all afternoon.
And it looked like the clock was running a little bit.
Yeah, we've had scoreboard issues throughout Western New York through the first couple weeks of this season. Everybody's getting back into the swing of things, not just the players and coaches.
Yeah, if you're watching our broadcast now, we originally had a scoreboard on there, but had a little bit of issues with our camera and tripods, so we decided to just, get rid of it. Too much of an issue, but right now we got 7:53 remaining in the third. Sweet Home up on Willie's 23-15.
And Laws is back to punt. And he gets a nice one away. This will go to the Willie's 30 and bounce back even further. Early's back there to field it, and they're just going to let it roll. It was downed unintentionally by Sweet Home around the 24, the 19 of Will East. So that is where the Flames offense will come back out. And we haven't seen the Will East offense at all in this quarter yet. Jake, the Panthers got the kick to start the third, turned it over. Willie scored on the scoop and score, and then that was the Panthers' second drive. So Will East offense on the field for the first time, down just 8, and can tie it with a score here.
Very similar in the first quarter with Sweet Home's offense. They didn't get onto the field within, I believe, 9-10 remaining in that first quarter, and it was all their special teams and defense that gave them 9 points to start off this game. But I do want to mention, Christian early on that punt return, very, very smart of him to let off the last second, because as soon as he touched that ball, you had 2 Sweet Home guys there that could have recovered it. 1st and 10,
Cook looking to throw. It's hipped, and it was knocked down, almost intercepted there by Hunt.
Pass intended for Austin D'Amico is incomplete.
And that is quite a mismatch height-wise. You see D'Amico listed at 6'4", and he's being covered by Marcus Hunt, listed at just 5'9" for Sweet Home. So Wood trying to use that height matchup and get it to his big receiver. Well, D'Amico did start today at quarterback for Will East. Wood is the Flames' usual starter, but he was banged up last week against West Seneca East, practiced, but was not set to start this week. But after a slow first half from D'Amico, they put Wood back in, or Cook back in, and it seemed to work for the Flames. And right there with the run is Pachillo. Picks up 1 or 2.
Pachillo on that carry.
Bring up 3rd and long for the Flames.
Looks like they'll credit him a yard.
But
like you mentioned, that with D'Amico has a huge height advantage, and if Cook is just able to get a better ball placement there, that could have been a huge first down to set themselves up in good territory for Will East.
Yeah, it was just a little underthrown, and he's going into the wind right now, going from left to right from this angle of ours. Cook, 3rd down pass, off the hands of Fasten, and hits the turf.
Cook's pass was intended for Dorian Faison.
That'll be 4th and 9, and
brings up 4th and 9.
have to expect a Will East punt here. And Jake, after a nice stand from their defense, that's a a tough 3-and-out pill to swallow if you're Williamsville East.
Absolutely, and that's just miscommunication between Cook and Faison. Cook had him. He's wide open. Just
Put a little
Faison
behind him.
Yeah, a little bit behind him, and also Faison just didn't turn in time. So that's where the miscommunication was between the quarterback and wide receiver.
So Christian Early is back deep to punt for Williamsville East. He'll kick this one from around the 10 of the Flames territory. Redden and Laws back to receive. Actually, that's Fleming, and that ball bounces between them and will get significantly into Sweet Home territory as it's downed right around the 21.
I like to know what that technique, it's definitely a special technique that Christian Early is more comfortable with. You know, it doesn't have to always be that punt where it's sailing and you have a tremendous hang time. That one's more of a line drive, but because he always gets a good bounce on it, you know, it's able to get into a certain spot where that ball can trickle another 15, 20 yards and keep rolling. And it's worked a couple of times. It's flipped fields, and Sweet Home, even though they're up by 8, they got to go almost, I believe, 79, 80 yards downfield to try to extend their lead, and they've struggled doing that. Yeah,
like we said, that's Williamsville's strategy on special teams. Keep it away from the speedsters that Sweet Home is able to boast on their roster. Let them drive the length of the field and earn their scores, and again, that's what they're going to have to do here. Sweet Home's offense has been relatively quiet since midway through the second quarter. On first down, Laws dropping back, throws again off his back foot and can't connect there with Gaines.
Laws pass intended for Gaines, incomplete.
And Will East,
2nd and 10.
The pressure that their defensive front has only increased as this game has gone on. Early on, it was the Sweet Home defensive line getting a huge advantage over Will East's offensive front 5. But now the tables have kind of turned. This Will East pass rush is doing a great job bringing the pressure on Laws in quick fashion. 6.5 left on the scoreboard. We're in the third quarter. Sweet Home on top, 23-15. Panthers looking to improve to 2-0 on the season. Will East looking to get their first victory of the year. Laws, 5 wide, 3 to his left, but he elects to throw right, and again just overshoots Redden.
Laws pass intended for Redden, incomplete. 3rd and 10.
That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Panthers now.
You know, when you see an overthrow like that, there's a couple of things. One, you know, how much of his front foot or back foot is there, how much the separation is his front foot going towards his receiver, and also what is his release point there? It seems like he's throwing the ball just a little bit early, and that's been a common thing for Laws throughout this game because he's thrown high on a lot of his receivers.
We'll see if he elects to throw it again here. Sweet Home has thrown a lot more than they've passed today, or run today, excuse me. And he'll roll out to the right on this 3rd down. And that's another bad throw off his back foot, and that's out of bounds. So
was flushed out of bounds.
Will East forced to go 3-and-out on their last offensive series. Now they force Sweet Home to go 3-and-out. And the Panthers are going to have to punt this one back to the Flames. Will East going to send 2 players back around the 50 to return this punt. It's Early and Faison. Laws back around the Sweet Home 10 to punt. Good snap. Gets the punt away. Early will field it from midfield. And he gets about 7-8 yards off that punt return.
About a 10-yard return.
And the Flames offense going to get a nice starting spot here. They'll start their drive, and yeah, they're going to give him 10 yards. It looks like he'll start at the Sweet Home 40.
And that's a beautiful return. He was right around that midfield marker, cuts to the outside, gets in the Sweet Home territory at their 40-yard line, and that just sets him up beautifully here with 6:08 remaining here in the third quarter.
And for the Sweet Home defense, who's played, pretty good overall today. Obviously, they've given up a couple touchdowns, but only one really because one was a soup and score. They've, been on the field a lot in this third quarter, despite the Panthers starting the frame with the ball. They forced a 3-and-out just a few minutes ago, and they're quickly back on the field, and now have to keep Will East out of the end zone with just 40 yards to work with. And we get a whistle, and it's a timeout for Sweet Home. 6:08 to go in the third quarter. Panthers on top, 23-15. We'll take a quick timeout as well and come right back for more action here on WNY Athletics.
WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York.
And we're back. WNY Athletics coming to you live from Williamsville East High School for today's football matchup between the Flames and the Sweet Home Panthers. Midway through the third quarter, 6:08 to go in the frame. Will East getting the ball back after forcing a Sweet Home 3 and out, and that ball was in the air. And now we're going to get a flag against Sweet Home.
Pass intended for early.
And I don't know why they're throwing that. I get it. I guess it's unnecessary roughness. The ball was up in the air, but the ball's free.
I think that had to have been a hit to the head. Otherwise, I don't know why you're throwing that flag. As soon as that ball hits, or as soon as the ball hits Early's hands, you're free to bring him down and, you know, by almost any means necessary. You just can't hit him in the head. So I think what happened there is he must have had his forearm to his head to create contact, because as soon as you hit in the head, if it's a helmet to helmet or any way like a forearm or hand to the head,
well,
you're going to throw a flag.
They didn't call a hit to the head. Otherwise, it would have been a more significant penalty. I think they're calling it pass interference. So they called it a regular pass interference, but I don't think that was a regular pass interference, because the ball was live. Like you said, it wasn't the hit that was dirty. It wasn't the hit that was the penalty. It was where he hit him. So yeah. I'm surprised at how that was called.
There was no contact on Christian Early when he went for that ball or before the ball was thrown. I don't know why that's pass interference.
So 1st and 10 for Will East, up to the Sweet Home 25. And now they're going to move back 5 yards with a false start against Will East.
1st and 15.
Yeah, I'm still baffled by that last call, honestly. I honestly don't know how that was pass interference.
Yeah. So
I get maybe contacted ahead there
well,
for like unnecessary roughness, but I don't.
The ball hit Early in the hands, and it was up in the air, and then the defender hit Early while the ball was still in the air. So the ball is in play. They want to make sure that the receiver doesn't make the catch, but he already got the hands on the ball. As far as I'm concerned, the ball is free, and that play was clean. But Will East backs up 5 yards, and they pick some more up here with Pachillo. He's still trying to move forward.
Cook, screen pass complete.
And we'll see how much he picked up there. And I just want to reiterate, I didn't think the play was totally clean. I did think he made some contact with Early's head on that last hit a moment ago. But the way that the penalty was called, I think we disagree with that. But it was a gain of 10 for Pachillo, so it'll be 2nd and 5 for Will East. 5.5 to go in this third quarter. Sweet Home still leading 23-15. Will East creeping their way back in this game. Got a defensive touchdown earlier in this quarter on a 20-yard scoop and score. Looking to add to that here. Cook, handoff to Pachillo. Avoids a couple tacklers, but he's brought down. Thought he was going to get away from that.
Pachillo on the carry.
But Sweet Home able to snuff him out there. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, other than that false start penalty, they get to Pachillo for I believe that was 11 yards on the pass, and then he gets another 2-yard run. So another good 3rd and short. They're in the red zone, and Will East is creeping up on that end zone. And it looks like we have an injury timeout as a Sweet Home player is down towards our sideline.
Yeah, I can't tell from over here who it is. It looks like it's either Redden or one of the other defensive backs, but I believe that's Redden, number 2. Kind of hard to tell from our end. Nope, it's actually Fleming. 20, so it's Dyer Fleming. So hopefully he's all right, and we'll take another quick break with both teams on the sideline. 4:50 to go in the third quarter, 23-15, Sweet Home over Will East. We'll be right back for more football action here on WMY Athletics.
WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown.
WNYathletics.com, Facebook page, YouTube or Twitter. 3rd and 3 for Will East. And D'Amico keeps it. He'll run for the first down. And he'll get brought down inside the 5, it looks like.
Took the snap.
So Will East keeping the drive going there. And now
Close to the 5-yard line.
they're knocking on the sweet home goal line. 4:20 and running in the 3rd quarter. Will East looking to tie this thing up. They're down 23-15. Looking to add to the momentum that they've built up here in the 3rd quarter. We're down 23-7 at half. Got a 20-yard scoop and score earlier in this quarter from Danny Cannon on a sweet home fumble. Now the offense looking to add to that with a touchdown here. Under 4 now. D'Amico still in at quarterback. Cook right to his left. D'Amico takes the snap, avoids a couple tacklers, and he finds Pater. Touchdown, Will East.
Touchdown.
D'Amico with his 2nd touchdown run of the afternoon makes it a 2-point game. And a successful conversion here by Will East would tie things up.
It's a phenomenal job. And that, a lot of it has to do with that blocking and a good awareness by D'Amico. The previous play, the left tackle and left guard set him up for that 1st and goal. And then right there, first play on that 1st and goal, they keep the defensive line pinched in. D'Amico cuts to the outside and goes for 6.
So now we will see another 2-point conversion try from Will East. They were successful on their first. We'll see what they do here. Cook back in at quarterback, takes the snap, throws, and it's right into the hands of Early. 2-point is good. It was the same play they ran on the last one, and we're all knotted up at 23.
Hit the nail on the coffin, John. That's the exact play they did to go for 2 on their previous touchdown. Cook looks to his right. Early's wide open as they create separation. Gets the 2 points. 3:42 remaining in the 3rd. We're all knotted up at 23.
So Will East scoring 16 unanswered points here in this 3rd quarter to tie this game up. And the Sweet Home offense set to come back onto the field. But like I said, they have been so quiet since early in the 2nd quarter. They're going to have quite a response here because right now the Flames have grabbed all the momentum in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, unofficially, they had about, I want to say, close to 60 to 70 yards in the first half. After that, they might be almost at 10 since the start of this 3rd quarter.
So Will East going out, ready to kick this one away. Miranda has gotten a few nice kicks down the field, forcing Sweet Home to start their drives from their own 20. He's gotten a pair of touchbacks. We'll see if he can make it 3 in a row with this kick.
And D'Amico on the sidelines trying to fire up his team as they've found a way to crawl themselves back into this game.
And I've noticed Sweet Home has flipped the positioning of Redden and Laws in their kick return. Laws was formerly on the far side of the field, Redden on the near side. Now it's Laws in the corner closer to us. And they're going to avoid kicking the ball to Laws. Miranda hooks this one to the left side, And that's going to hurt Will East. It goes out of bounds. Sweet Home going to get some favorable position here. They're going to start this drive at their own 40.
Panthers bounce out of bounds.
Yeah, that might have mentally gotten to Miranda's head as he kicked it towards. He knew that Laws was there, and like you mentioned, he's been towards the right side of that return team for Sweet Home. So Miranda kicks to his left, too much to his left actually, as it bounces, it goes out of bounds. Penalty on the play, and that puts Sweet Home in really good field position.
Yeah, I like that call by Zimmer, just changing up that look just a little bit. Forces Will Easton. All right, I guess they're going to re-kick the ball. Again, Jake, I don't understand this, man. It's week 2, and I've called, this is the fourth or fifth high school football game I've called just this season. I have seen more officials changing rules, making up rules. Like, there's no continuity anymore when it comes to high school officiating, I feel like. And I don't want to over-critique these guys. You know, we can't have these games without them. But, like, you know, Thursday night at Maryvale, we had a touchdown wiped out just because of an unsportsmanlike. They didn't assess the yardage on the kickoff or the extra point try. No, they just wiped out the touchdown. It was a blowout. It didn't matter, but you can't just change the rules as you go. And now Miranda with another poor kick. Sweet Home going to field this at the 35. And Theodore takes this one out past the Will East 50. And the Panthers are going to get favorable position. They're going to start at the Will East 45. So I guess the re-kick works out for Sweet Home. I hope that they were the ones that elected to do that.
Yeah, see, that's the one thing. I don't know if there's an extra rule on that penalty where
the team that has a choice, I
guess.
guess.
If they have a choice, if they can set it up, because I believe that ball is normally at, I want to say the 40, 45-yard line in their own territory if Sweet Home accepted it.
Yeah, it's at the 40.
Yeah, but if they decline it, maybe I'm assuming Will East gets penalized. They move back.
They move back the kick, sure, but I mean, with how slow the Sweet Home offense has been in this quarter, they haven't been able to get anything going. I mean, yes, they do have better field position now, but I don't know why they didn't just take it at their own 40 there. They're lucky that they ended up getting an extra 15 out of this.
Yeah, no, that was a great return by Jordan that puts, like you said, puts them in great field position.
So Laws takes the first down snap. He'll run it right away. Takes it out to the right and finds some open space. Laws down the right sideline, gets inside the 20. And that's got the Sweet Home crowd back on their feet. They needed some life here. It's been a quiet third quarter for the Panthers, but that run by Laws has them back in business. They're inside the red zone and looking to retake the lead.
I think what Zimmer's doing now here is I think he's now adjusted a little bit to a similar game plan they had to win against Amherst, where they wanted to use that passing game, just like we mentioned earlier. But since that's not been successful, made you guys successful in win against Amherst. And they were showing that with Laws and Gaines' running ability, and looks like they're going to do it on this drive.
1st and 10 from the 20. Laws running right after getting the snap again and piles ahead for a gain of about 4.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to try and mix up some run plays to get Laws and Gaines going. I don't want to say the passing game is entirely out of the game plan the rest of the way. They'll maybe do a pass play here or there, but the run game was successful last week. It was successful early on in this game, and they're going to continue doing that throughout towards the end of it.
For what it's worth, it would certainly be tougher for Willies to defend the pass, assumingly if Sweet Home mixed more runs in here, going into the fourth quarter, because they've, like we said, they ran a lot in week 1. They've passed a lot today, but we have not seen a consistent mix yet. They really haven't done the best job keeping Williamsville's defense on their toes. It's been somewhat predictable. 4 wide here for Laws on 2nd and 5. Sees some pressure, throws one up, and that one goes through the hands of his receiver. It was intended for Cyrus Jones.
3rd and 5.
And that was Alabash on the cover for Will East. Some of the Sweet Home fans looking for an interference call there. There might have been some contact, but no flags thrown, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Panthers here.
Yeah, Alabash looked like he may have pushed Cyrus Jones a little bit as he was trying to lean back for a diving attempt, but refs didn't feel like there was either no contact or there wasn't enough to initiate a pass interference call.
3rd and 5 for Sweet Home. 3 receivers to the right of Laws. He's also got Gaines out there. Flag comes just as the snap goes. Laws able to reverse the field and runs for a gain. Tripped up and
Laws on the carry.
goes
Tripped up
down
by
right
Justin
around
Riley
the
with a flag.
6-yard line of Will East. But we've got a flag on the field.
No
And
flag.
that's actually no flag. The referees negated the call. So it's a first down for Sweet Home. And it's first and goal
That's good for first and goal.
as they're inside the Williamsville 10. This has certainly been the best drive of this entire quarter for the Panthers. Had a 23-7 lead that's been wiped out from back-to-back touchdowns by Will East. Inside 2 minutes to go in the third quarter now. And Laws looking to get his team back in front. Jones in motion, goes over to the right side. Now Gaines shifts up to Laws' left. Takes the snap, hands it to Gaines. Sees a hole to the right, and he goes in. Jalen Gaines runs it in from 7 yards out. It's his first touchdown of the day, and it gives the Panthers the lead. They're back on top, 29-23.
Yeah, Gaines was able to find the hole. He couldn't see anything to his left. He moved to his right side, found a big hole, ran up the middle, and Sweet Home. Will East did a great job coming back in this game, and the next ensuing drive, Sweet Home able to come back with a touchdown on their own and regain the lead.
Believe Gaines ran for a pair of touchdowns in Sweet Home's Week 1 win over Amherst. Gets his first today, and now we got the extra point attempt up, and that one is good from Cordy.
Point kick is good.
So that makes it a 30-23 lead for Sweet Home with 1:34 to go here in the quarter. So that's the first points for Sweet Home since the 3:20 mark of the second quarter, and that was, of course, when Marcus Hunt scooped up a fumble and returned it 50 yards for a touchdown, and that ends Will East's scoring streak at 16 points. They put up back-to-back touchdowns in this quarter, but momentum now back in the Panthers' favor with that drive that, of course, just ended in the Gaines score.
Yeah, Will East is outscoring Sweet Home 16-7 this quarter, and that's been due to the 2 touchdowns and the two-point conversions. But Sweet Home getting those big 7 points to get their team back up, 30-23, 1:34 remaining in the third quarter. And just like what D'Amico was doing on the previous drive, firing his team up, Will East, just can't back down from there. Every time they're getting this close, Sweet Home's able to answer back either with his points or a big needed first down, or Will East is costing himself with a penalty. So from here on out, you got to keep yourselves confident and keep your, making sure make sure you don't feel tired. Make sure you keep your confidence going.
I'll tell you what else, Jake. For the Sweet Home defense, they certainly benefited from that scoring drive by the Sweet Home offense. They need a little bit of a break. Sweet Home went 3 and out a couple of times. The defense was coming back out onto the field with little rest after getting stops against Will East. They've gotten a breather now, and I think they'll be a little bit more refreshed when they come out for this next series. But Collins ready to kick it away for Sweet Home. Sweet Home with 2 different kickers. One guy place kicking, another kicking extra points. But Collins boots that one up. It'll be fielded around the 10 by Fasten. Hits the 20. Gets up to about the 25, but he's met by a herd of Panthers, and they knock him down right around there.
First and 10 Flames.
So 1:26 to go in the third. Still have a whole quarter of football left, but Will East back down 7. They'll look to shift momentum back in their favor a little bit here. Will East offense accounting for one of their 2 touchdowns in this quarter. Of course, the other was a scoop and score by Danny Cannon. And Austin D'Amico with a pair of rushing scores today for the Flames. But he remains at wide receiver despite starting the quarterback at the beginning of the game. Alex Cook, Will East's planned starter for the season, who was injured in last week's game against West Seneca East, took over midway through the third and has since remained in. First down, it's a handoff to Pachillo, and he's snuffed out early. That's Jordan Theodore on the tackle there. And that holds Will East to no gain. Clock running down Inside a minute here. Now under 60 seconds to play in the quarter. Willie's not in too much of a hurry to get anything done. Can take this possession into the fourth and flip the field. Have the wind going to their backs. Cook, snap, quick pass, knocked away there. Nice anticipation by Cyrus Jones.
Broken up by Cyrus Jones.
Might have even been able to pick that one off, but just got one hand in there.
Yeah, and it's just a beautiful job by Jones from Cook to early. They like that, early keeping on Cook's right side, the quick passes, and Jones able to sniff that one out, batted away with his left hand.
That stops the clock. 41 seconds left, but it's a 3rd and 10 for Will East. Alex Cook looking for the call from the sideline. Alerts the guys in the huddle. Flames coming up to the line, ready to go. 3rd and 10. Bacillo to Cook's right in the backfield. He's got 3 receivers on that side as well. Takes the snap, looks to his right, gets it to Fasten, but he's going to have to get around a couple defenders. And that's Theodore again on the tackle. Little to no gain for Will East. And I wonder if the Panthers forcing a punt here, if the Flames are going to go with an unexpected 4th down offensive play. And it looks like Will East will wait until the 4th quarter to make their decision. At the end of the 3rd, 30-23, Sweet Home leads. We got 1 quarter of action left here. Stay tuned. Panthers on top of the Flames. We'll be right back for more action here on WNY Athletics.
WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Welcome back to WNYathletics.com, WNY Athletics Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. John Simon, Jacob Faya coming to you live from Williamsville East High School for some Section 6 Class A2 football action. And right now, as we enter the 4th quarter of play, the Sweet Home Panthers leading the home Williamsville East Flames 30-23, looking to improve to 2-0 on this early fall 2/spring season. Will East looking to get their first win of the year, and this wasn't really much of a game in the first half. Sweet Home took a 23-7 lead into the locker room at halftime, but 16 straight points for Will East tied the game at 23 in the 3rd quarter, but the Panthers went back on top late in the frame thanks to a nice offensive drive that was capped by a touchdown run from Jalen Gaines, and that gives the Panthers a 30-23 lead here as we start the 4th quarter. And it's a 4th and 11 situation for Will East. They're going to punt it away. And there's nobody back there to return for Sweet Home. That ball's just going to continue to roll. And it'll be down just inside the Panther 20.
His punt rolls to the 19-yard line.
And last drive for the Panthers was a successful one, Jake. It ended in a touchdown run by Jalen Gaines. And they went, only about 45 yards. They got pretty favorable position on the kick. Now, if they want to extend their lead to 2, they're going to have to go down a sizable length of the field here to add on to their lead.
Absolutely, and the way that they should be doing it is how they did on their last drive. In their first drive at the beginning of this game is just using Laws and Gaines to be your main two runners. They tried to incorporate passing. It hasn't been that successful as they wanted to. But on their previous drive, like you said, in great field position in Willie's territory, they ran the ball a lot. They were able to get a lot of positive yards, and it led to a touchdown by Gaines. So I feel like if you're Sweet Home, just keep doing that, and it's going to lead to success.
Up until the most recent drive for Sweet Home that ended in Gaines' touchdown, the run game's been pretty quiet, which is surprising considering they ran for about 300 yards as a team in their Week 1 victory over Amherst. Laws has been airing it out a little bit more today, but the passing game, as Jake said, has just not been consistent enough. But the Panthers, with a great opportunity here to take control of this game, go up 2 scores. And on first down, Laws bursts through the line with some speed. He gets to the 40 and then some. He's out to the 45, Tyrell Laws. We said he's a great athlete, one of the best on all around of Western New York. And right there he shows us with a burst of speed, a big pickup of about 25, 26 yards.
Yeah, it's a 26-yard run, and my goodness, that was definitely his best run he's had today. He even went past a couple of Willie's defenders, trucked Calhoun in the process as he tried to get around that 35-yard line. A big run there, and that's how you start off with confidence. Sweet Home at their 45-yard line.
And Honen's coming to the Willie's bench with a little bit of a limp. Just might have been shaken up on that play. Laws running it again on 1st and 10 from the 45, and he gets a gain there that time. Not as much as 26. Looks like it's a gain of about 2. Now bring up 2nd and 8. 10:40 to go in this game, at least in regulation. Could definitely see overtime with it being just a 7-point game right now.
Unofficially for my stats so far, and I'm keeping track, Tyrell Laws has 102 yards after that run.
Pretty good. Got Sweet Home near midfield or at the Willie's 48. 2nd and looks like 8 or 7 here. Gaines takes the handoff, goes through the middle for some yards, and this is going to make it 3rd and short. Nice job by Gaines to move the line of scrimmage up a little bit there.
Gain of about 5.
And this is what Sweet Home wants to do right now, Jake. Get the run game into their offense, use it to shave some time off the clock, and keep this Williamsville defense on the field. They want to find the end zone at the end of this drive, but take off as much time as they can while doing it.
Absolutely, but I mean, you mentioned about time, and the way Laws and Gaines are running, they feel like they just want to score a touchdown on every single play.
Well, it's 3rd and short here for Sweet Home, just inside the Willie's portion of the field. They're at the Flames 47. 3rd and 1. Gaines with some pre-snap movement. Laws will take it off the pitch, and he gets a first down and more. He's brought up and wrapped down around the Willie's 35.
Brought down by Owen Valley. First down, Panthers.
And you know what, Jake? I'm starting to think about this. I don't want to say that it's Jeremy Nostradamus Zimmer over on the sideline for Sweet Home, but maybe he saw this coming. Maybe he reserved, implementing the run game in their game plan until the later stages of this game, figuring he would need it to protect a close late lead.
I mean, that's definitely could be the case, and it's a good thing on Zimmer's side to keep that game plan in check. I do want to mention, though, we talk about Laws and Gaines doing a tremendous job. The offensive line of Sweet Home is not getting enough credit, especially on that left side. James Griffo, their left tackle, is arguably probably their best tackle on this line. Every time Laws goes to the left, he's creating big holes for him to run.
Yeah, Griffo's a 4-year starter, and as I mentioned, is Sweet Home picking up another nice chunk of yards there on the run by Gaines. Griffo, 4-year starter. Murphy, 3-year starter. Some other big bodies on that line with Toro.
Close to a first down.
And Wooten.
Call it 2nd and 1.
Jackson. They just got big bodies down there. I mean, Wooten alone, you see him next to Griffo on the line, number 78. He's 6'3", 280. I mean, they just got some big boys now. Otis Taylor as well, 6'3", 315. I mean, they've got some size on that line, and that gives them that ability to push Willie's front 4 and give Laws and Gaines and the other backs space to run.
Yeah, Wooten, 6'3", 280 pounds, only a sophomore.
Yeah, and he's one of those original Sweet Home guys that played at Canisius last year and then transferred back to the Panthers for this season. 2nd and short now, and Laws rolled out to his left, got a quick pass away, but no one from either side there to reel it in. Will East was a little upset there, thought that could have been a nice chance to force a turnover. 3rd and 1 now for Sweet Home. 7:34 to go in this game. Panthers on top 30-23 over their division rival, Will East Flames. We mentioned this is an A2 matchup, and despite it being a 5-game regular season, Jake, every game is big for these teams, considering the fact that in each league, depending on what you're in, but in this A2 league specifically, only the top 2 teams going on to the postseason in May.
And point differentials are still a big part of that, which is a good reason why we're seeing a lot of blowouts for some teams, because they know if you want to get the wins, you got to score as much as you can as well.
And on 3rd and short, Laws gets just enough to keep the chains moving. He runs to the left for a gain of 2 or 3, gets the Panthers a first down.
Good enough for a first down, Panthers.
And as I said, that'll move the chain gang up. And the Panthers continuing to wind time off this clock, protecting this 1-score lead right now. But Jake, with the way that this drive is looking, they're on the verge of going up 2 again.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned as well, but James Griffo actually checked out of the game. I don't know if he was favoring that left arm. And right now, Ayo Ekbola, their junior offensive lineman, has come to replace him as left tackle.
And that's one thing that Sweet Home has this year that they hadn't in the past couple seasons is depth. When Jeremy Zimmer took over in 2018, had just 18 guys on the varsity squad, Jake. That's obviously different from Sweet Home's heyday in the mid to late 2000s and early 2010s as Gaines picks up another 8 yards there on the run. But Sweet Home had a couple down years. You know, there was the retirement of John Fowler. He passed away a couple years ago. Rest in peace to Sweet Home's great coach. But Zimmer has gotten this program back to somewhat where it was a couple of years ago when they won 7 straight Section 6 titles. 8 in a 9-year span. But obviously won a couple state championships under John Fowler as well. But, you know, as Zimmer said, he thinks that this team has the talent to play with and beat anybody in Western New York. They just got to get, you know, out of their own way sometimes, and we've seen that today. They've cleaned up the penalties here in the second half, and that's led to them playing a very good fourth quarter. Gaines, another carry on 2nd and short. He pushes ahead for a first down, and he's wrapped up for the tackle inside the Will East 10.
Brought down by Valley.
And reiterate earlier what you mentioned about Zimmer. The only reason for him to turn that program around is not only build a coaching philosophy around these kids, but also have them buy into the system and getting the guys in the right spots to give them their best strengths to become successful, not only as players, but also as men growing up. And Zimmer's done that throughout in this shortened season. He's done a very successful job.
Yeah, and the JV numbers are up too. They got 44 guys on their team. So Sweet Home building a nice foundation again. Gaines, another carry on 1st and goal. He's stopped a couple yards short of the goal line. Nice job there by Will East. But this Sweet Home team, they went winless 2 years ago. We're 0-8. And then in 2019, finished 4-4, made the playoffs as we have a Williamsville East player down on the field. But the Panthers lost to McKinley in the first round of the Class A playoffs back in 2019. They lost their star quarterback, Jamel Lucas, to graduation. But the Panthers seem to be off to a great start here in 2021, and they are 540 away from coming out with their 2nd victory of the year. And the Williamsville East player that's getting worked on right now is Owen Valley. Looks like it's his left leg, and we'll take a quick injury timeout with him down on the field and be right back for fourth quarter action. 30-23, Sweet Home leads over Williamsville East. 5:40 to go. John Simon, Jake Fyack will be right back with more here for WNY Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
And we're back. WMIathletics.com, Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you may be watching. We thank all viewers for tuning into today's high school football matchup. John Simon, Jacob Fyack here coming to you live from Williamsville East High School, as right now the Flames trail the visiting Sweet Home Panthers 30-23 in this Section 6 Class A2 matchup. Sweet Home currently with the ball and knocking on the door of extending their lead to 2 scores as they are at the Will East 5, facing a 2nd and goal situation. And Will East came out strong in the third quarter, erased a 23-7 halftime deficit with back-to-back touchdowns in that third frame, but Sweet Home has taken control back here in the fourth quarter. They scored a touchdown on a run from Jalen Gaines earlier in the fourth to take the 7-point lead, and as I said, they're looking to add on to that here, just 5 yards out from the Will East goal line. Gaines in the backfield, along with Theodore and Fleming to each side of Laws. And he hands it to Gaines, runs to the left, and he gets knocked out of bounds just short of the goal line, and he was inbounds. The clock will stay running.
Gaines on a carry.
And now, they'll stop the clock, and it looks like Gaines is down on the field for the Panthers in quite a bit of discomfort.
Yeah, he immediately took his helmet off right away as soon as he felt pain. I don't believe it was on his right leg or knee area, but
he's holding that right leg. And the Sweet Home trainers are over there working on him. We'll get another injury timeout here. Hopefully he just went down awkwardly. But the Sweet Home trainer, Marcy Gerlach's definitely working on the lower portion of that right leg of Gaines. But he's been Sweet Home's best player on offense in this fourth quarter. The running game has come alive with the ball in his hands. He's kept the clock moving and the chains moving up for Sweet Home. So that would certainly be a big loss for the Panthers if he can't stay in this game.
Yeah, him and Laws have been the great running duo, as it looks like he's being helped out by his teammate and by his trainer. And he is limping a little bit, so there's a good chance he might be done for the day, or if not, just needs a quick rest.
Well, luckily for Sweet Home, Jeremy Zimmer said he's got a stable of running backs that he likes to use, and he's confident going with other guys. We've seen Jordan Theodore with a couple nice carries so far today, as well as Dyer Fleming. They were both just in there on that last snap. So even with Gaines out, Sweet Home still with capable runners, guys that they're confident in to close out this game. And another score here would certainly put them in a good spot. Third and goal, from the 1 yard line of Will East. Theodore in at running back now. The clock once again running as Gaines was tackled in bounds. And now we got a flag thrown before the snap. We'll see who it goes on. And it's going to go against Williamsville East. So a costly penalty against the Flames. They've won that battle so far this afternoon, Jake. Sweet Home certainly getting hit hard with penalties worse than Will East, but that's going to move Sweet Home up half a distance to the goal now, and it remains third down for the Panthers, but that'll make punching it in just a bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that legal substitution is going to kill him.
So third down, half a distance to the goal for the Panthers. Laws takes the snap. He'll run it himself, and he gets in with ease. Tyrell Laws barrels his way past the goal line, and Sweet Home goes back up 2 scores. It's 36-23. Panthers in front, 4:34 to play here in the fourth.
And I double checking here. That's only the second offensive touchdown, I believe, for Sweet Home. Gaines had that one in the third quarter, and then got Laws there that just extends the lead up 36-23 with the PAT pending.
It's the third offensive touchdown of the game today. Second for Laws, though, as he had a 25-yard run early in the first quarter. An extra point attempt, up and good. So Corti
First extra point is
knocking
good.
that one through, makes it 37-23 Sweet Home, and that lead back up to 14 now.
23.
And Willie's still with a lot of time left, 4:34, but their offense is going to have to really get something going here on this drive if they want to stay in this game and force a tie in overtime.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do that by getting the ball down quickly and maybe going a little bit of a no-huddle offense. You only have 4 minutes and 34 seconds remaining here in the game. So you got to go for it, go for two, possibly, or just go for the extra point to make it a 7-point game. Get a quick 3-and-out for Sweet Home, and you have to score right away, and hopefully you'll have enough time to do that.
So while we have a moment, just a quick scoring summary. It started just a minute and a half into the game with a safety by Sweet Home. They went up 2-0, and then right after on the safety punt, Tazir Redden took the kick 60 yards to the house to give Sweet Home a 9-0 lead. Then Law's 25-yard touchdown run made it 16-0 Panthers before the first quarter's end. D'Amico ran it in from 1 yard out to give Will East their first points, 16-7 early in the second quarter. Then Marcus Hunt's 50-yard fumble recovery return touchdown made it 23-7 Sweet Home, a lead they took into halftime. Will East scored touchdowns on a 20-yard fumble return from Danny Cannon to make it 23-15 in the third quarter. They tied it on a 4-yard run from D'Amico to make it 23-23. But then Sweet Home back in control as Collins kicks that one away with back-to-back touchdowns from Gaines and Laws in the end of the third and late in the fourth. But now Will East with a chance here. Pachillo runs out to the 50-yard line, and now it's going to be even more as Zach Collins laid a late hit there. And Will East is lucky. Head coach Mike Torillo had to tell one of his players, hey, don't taunt the kicker there. You're going to negate the penalty that they just got. So smart coaching by Torillo there, but a tough break for Sweet Home as Collins, a kicker, Jake, not too used to making tackles, and he just has to know to let up on the returner there once he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, because he was going all in on that tackle, and Pachillo was already towards the sideline. He tried to let up a little bit, but there was just too much contact, which, you know, once he made that contact, Pachillo ended up sliding down, and that was enough for a ref to say, yeah, you can't do that, and time for the flag.
And it was just funny seeing one of the players on the Will East bench like pointing at the flag, Tony. Like, you're down 14, man. Your team's got its back against the wall right now. Now's not the time to, you know, do something like that and negate the penalty that Will East was able to draw there. So favorable starting position for the Flames. They're at Sweet Home's 35, 4:24 to go in this game, and they're down 14. Cook dropping back, sees some pressure. He's able to roll away from it, gets a pass away, and it just falls incomplete. He was able to get it to the hands of Christian Early, but he couldn't reel it in. That's a huge break for the Panthers. And Will East just inches away from coming up with a big play there.
What I mentioned earlier, you got to get some big yardage downfield quickly to try to cut this back to a single-digit game. You had a great run return by Pachillo. You had an amazing chance right there to get a touchdown or at least get your team to at least the 1 or 2 yard line. And Early just could not find, you know, enough of his hands to try and corral it in.
Luckily for Will East, it does stop the clock. 4:14 remaining. 14 points needed to score to force a tie. Cook, shotgun, and we get a whistle here just as the ball snapped. And it's going to be encroachment against Sweet Home. I don't really like to, you know, jinx teams with that old broadcaster's jinx, but I said Sweet Home was doing a nice job controlling the amount of penalties called on them here in this second half, but now they're reverting a little bit to, you know, what really shot them in the foot in the first half. And now they're going to completely change the call. And maybe one of the officials who had a better angle was able to properly assess the play, but it's a false start call on Will East, Jake. They must have had some movement on the line forcing that Sweet Home encroachment.
Well, there was both movement. I think the majority rule was there as Will East jumped first, and that's what caused, you know, an encroachment penalty initially on Sweet Home. But they reversed the call, and Will East got the 5-yard offside penalty.
So now it's 2nd and 15 for the Flames. Cook taking the shotgun snap, rolls to the right, quickly gets it away, and that one's knocked away. Great coverage there by Nate Moody.
Pass intended for Christian
Hit early just as the ball was getting to him. No pass interference there. That's as clean as it gets. And now Will East going to face a big 3rd and long here.
Clean as it gets, and that's perfect timing.
Yeah.
That was perfect timing by Nate Moody early. As soon as he tried to corral that ball, and Moody just delivered the boom on him on his backside and jarred the ball loose to make it incomplete.
That far side of the Sweet Home secondary, Marcus Hunt, Nate Moody, a pair of juniors with a lot of experience for this team. Both started as sophomores last year and making another big play there to hold Will East at bay. Now 3rd and 15. Cook, throw, completes to Fasten, but a big tackle there by Cyrus Jones. Keeps the gain to a minimum. And Will East will have to go for it here, Jake, in plus territory and down 14 late in the 4th.
Gain of 8.
And now we get a Flames timeout call. They'll talk this play over because this could very well decide the game, Jake. And while they take a moment to talk the play over on both sides, we'll take another quick timeout. 37-23, Sweet Home over Will East. We'll be right back for more here on WNY Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
.com 4th and 8 play coming up for Will East. 3:48 to go in the 4th quarter. Sweet Home up 14 and Cook's intercepted. Cyrus Jones is there to pick off the pass, and he's going to pick up more yards with the return. And that may be the dagger that Sweet Home needed. 3:37 to go in this one. Panthers up 14, and they get the ball back there with a huge interception.
Yeah, absolutely. That has to be the dagger there. It's, that's basically your final chance to try to get this ball downfield, and Jones does a great job finding where the ball is, tracking it, jumping in the air, and picking it off. And not only does he get the interception, but puts his offense in great field position to start off.
It was a rough 3rd quarter for Sweet Home. They gave up 16 straight points to Will East, which tied the game at 23. But since the late 3rd quarter, it really all started with that 7-yard touchdown runs from Jalen Gaines with about 90 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Since then, it has been all Sweet Home. That gave the Panthers a 30-23 lead. Now they're up 14. With a touchdown run from Laws earlier in this 4th quarter. And a couple first downs here would assumingly give Sweet Home a victory and would bump the Panthers' record up to 2-0 on the year. Laws, first down snap, hands it to Gaines. Gaines runs through the middle for a big pickup there, gets about 9. And it's nice to see him back on the field, Jake, after being shaken up just before the Panthers' last touchdown.
Absolutely. It was a bit of a scary-looking injury as he kept grabbing his foot or knee area, but he went off on a little bit of a hobble, was able to be 10-2 by his trainers, and gets big 8-9-yard run there on first down.
Yeah, we mentioned it's a short season for all teams, just 5 regular season contests apiece. And for Sweet Home right now, on the verge of improving to 2-0, they have a good chance to be in the driver's seat of being one of those 2 playoff teams from the A2 division. And you're going to need a guy like Gaines the entire rest of the way in order to, get into the playoffs, because he certainly has had a great start to the season. 2nd and 1 here for Laws. He's able to run forward for what looks like a first down with the forward progress. And, yeah, they're going to advance the chains. They'll give it to him. Clock running inside 2.5 minutes.
Owen Valley and Nick Petrilla in on that tackle.
14-point lead for Sweet Home, as we just mentioned. Just looking ahead for both these teams, Williamsville East will have another tough matchup in A2 on Friday, April 16th against South Park on the road. Then they'll come back home to face Star Point on April 23rd. That'll be the Flames senior game. And then they'll wrap up the regular season at Amherst on April 30th. First and 10 here for Sweet Home, under 2 minutes to play. And now they got Dunstan in at quarterback, so Law's afternoon may be done. His Gaines runs ahead for a gain of 5. And that's Jake Dunstan in at quarterback for Sweet Home now. The junior quarterback has also played some time at wide receiver today. Just talked about Willie's schedule coming up. Jake, why don't you tell us what Sweet Home has on tap for the coming weeks?
Well, after this game, they'll move 2-0 overall in the year. They'll have another away game next Friday at 7 p.m. They'll take on Kenmore East. And then on Friday, April 23rd at 7, they'll be home to take on Williamsville South. And then how about this for a great matchup? Thursday, April 29th at 7, South Park against Sweet Home at South Park.
And that could very well be the 2 playoff teams from the A2 league as Dunstan takes the second snap here, a second down snap, I should say, and Theodore running for a first down and then some. Nice pickup there, but yeah, that Week 5 matchup between Sweet Home and South Park, that could determine the number 1 seed from the A2 side in the Class A playoffs. That could be, a spot for the final playoff matchup. There could be a lot riding on that Sweet Home South Park matchup. And, just for Sweet Home, hopefully everything's good with Kenmore East. I know they were on COVID pause, and right now, Williamsville South, along with Amherst, both those teams on pause due to COVID. So hopefully the Billies will be back and healthy by April 23rd for that game against Sweet Home, because that is another exciting matchup. An old school rivalry. Sweet Home and Will South met a few times at the Bills Stadium back in the day in the Section 6 championship. But Dunstan kneeing the final snap there. The clock is running down into the final 10 seconds, but the game is seemingly over. The Panthers of Sweet Home improving to 2-0 on the year with a 37-23 road win over the Williamsville East Flames. John Simon for Jacob Fyock and Timmy Gardner, our cameraman today. Want to thank him very much for his great work up there on the camera. I want to thank you all for tuning into today's game. And we'll have plenty more high school football action this afternoon, tomorrow, and Monday on the WNY Athletic Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. So once again, for Timmy Gardner, Jake Fyock, I'm John Simon. Sweet Home 37, Willie's 23. That's all for today's high school football action here on WNY Athletics.